Nothing else. Nothing else. All right, yeah, here we are. Monster Castle Paranormal Radio. You got Wolfman Mike here, you got Dare in the Dark, and we've got... Oh, hello, monsters. And there's several different monsters. And, Igor, get the monsters down to the basement, please.
Yes, master. Yes, sorry.
Come on, guys. Go downstairs. Okay, all right.
It's okay. Midnight.
Yeah, they know better. Okay, they're gone. All right, and we have an amazing show planned tonight. This is going to be the haunted. Yeah, well, not just haunted. Every different kind of paranormal activity that you can think of, we can cover tonight. Yeah. But this couple lives in North Carolina. Or no, is it South Carolina?
North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay. And this is Alastar and Janice, everyone. Everyone give a warm welcome. All right.
And we also have the Awakening Man.
We have Eric the Protector with us tonight.
Yes.
Eric, how you doing, brother?
Eric? Oh, I'm here protecting.
Oh, yeah.
I've got all the spirit guides aligned around all of us for the protection factor.
We need
that.
We definitely need that. And we got such a wide range of topics to discuss tonight. I don't even know where to start.
Well, I know where to start.
Oh, good.
I'd like to thank my wife, Janice, because this is the first time she's ever been with me on an interview. And I couldn't have done anything that I've ever done in this field without her. So I just want to give a little clap to Janice here.
Okay, let's give a big one. Here we go.
First time being here.
Right on. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Janice. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Janice. Janice, can you go? Thank you, like Elvis.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
You nailed it.
We actually have a story. As a matter of fact, it's the most popular article I ever wrote about haunted Graceland. And did we have a strange experience that night in our guest bedroom that Janice is going to tell you about if you want to hear it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was pretty strange, but
Let's start at Graceland. That's perfect.
yeah. I was in business with an older gentleman many years ago, and he invited us to his house in Memphis. He's an old movie theater man. And we got there, and he showed us around and everything, and he took us to the back bedroom. And said, this is the only other room that has a bathroom, so would this be okay for you? I said, sure. We looked at each other. And it turned out that his wife had been murdered in that room about 2 or 3 years before. And, I asked him, I said, was this where, Miss Bostick was, he said, yeah, if you feel uncomfortable, we can find another room. But we looked at each other and said, no, that's okay, Mr. Bostick, we'll stay in this room. So, we went and saw all the sights, Beale Street. Well, we didn't get on Beale Street, but we saw.
We did.
Did we? Okay. But we saw Graceland, and all the sights Memphis had to. But I think it was the second night we were there in that bedroom where Mrs. Bostick had been murdered. What happened was somebody she knew, or was it the first night? Okay.
Yeah.
Where she'd been killed, and somebody that probably had worked there before knew where the lady kept her pen money. And so she had let them into the house. They had taken her into the back bedroom, shot her in the back of the head, and then went to her feminine hygiene bag where she kept about $2,000, stole the money. So that's what happened in that room.
Now, was this a hotel?
No. This was a big house. Mr. Bostick was a wealthy man, and this was just the only other room in the house that had a bathroom. That's why he offered it to us.
Did he normally rent out the rooms, or was it like?
No. We were just guests.
He was our friend.
He was our friend, and
oh, okay.
Yeah,
partner.
and then a business partner for a short while. It's a lot. There's more to it than that. But that's all for this story we need to know. And anyway, okay. So Janice says it was the first night. I couldn't remember if it was the first or second. But I'm going to let her tell you what went on that night in that bedroom where the lady had been murdered. You ready?
We are ready.
Janice, let them tell them.
Okay. We got ready for bed and laid down, went to sleep. And a couple hours later, we both woke up just freezing. Freezing. So we found the blanket at the end of the bed and pulled it up. And it was no time. Then we were burning up. We had to shed the covers. It was just really weird. But the next morning when we were having breakfast, we were asked if we slept comfortably and everything. And of course we said yes. We didn't want to say anything, but I asked him if he changed the thermostat during the night. And he said he had not changed the thermostat, that he leaves it on the same temperature all the time. So the second night, everything was normal. So we feel like that her presence, she came in checking us out, and her spirit was there. And when she realized, who we were, I guess, and everything, the second night she didn't bother us. But it was really, we just both woke up at the same time, freezing. And then...
Has that happened to you before with ghosts?
Only one time with my grandpa, but when I was a little girl. and he appeared at my doorway and told me I was going to be okay.
Yeah, she was sick at the point of death, and he had passed away about a couple of years before or something, and he poked his head in and said, "You're going to be all right." Is that what he said? Yeah, he said, "You're going to be all right." But that's the only other one she's had. Yeah. But what happened was that night, we woke up. It was just, I mean, it was like you could almost see your breath in the room. So I got up and checked things out, and I even, at one point I went down the hallway and checked the thermometer, and it was like in the low 70s. And then we came back and went back to sleep. And then we woke up. I mean, we were soaked with sweat. It was like, the bedclothes had come right out of a washer. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Extreme opposite.
Yeah, it was really, really extreme.
Were you thinking? Yeah. Were you thinking right there that it was weird, or did it take you a day?
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely a strange experience. I mean, to go from one extreme to the other like that, and then knowing what happened in that room.
Mm-hmm.
And I also kind of felt like a presence in there. It was it was strange. Definitely. So.
Somebody died. Did they get murdered?
Yeah, they were murdered. Yeah, the lady was shot at the foot of her bed in the back of the head. Yeah.
Was that a friend of yours? Did you?
Yeah,
know her?
Well, it was a friend. He was like in his 80s. All right, he had been a friend of my father's.
Did you know her?
No, I'd never met the lady. But I did when I was kind of going through the bed. What do you call it? The beds. What do you call those things beside a bed?
Nightstand.
When I was going through the nightstand, I found a bunch of pictures, like taken from around 1930 or something like that. And I think I found a picture of her, and she was a beautiful woman. She was, really gorgeous.
Oh, my gosh. So that's the best of their cleaning. They left pictures from guests over the years in their nightstand?
Well, you know what? He left that room almost untouched. Like, you could go in the bathroom, and all the makeup, everything was still there. It's like she'd never left.
Blood on the walls.
Yeah, well, there was. Hey, you know what? There was a stain. There was a little stain at the foot of the bed. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was a little blood stain.
There was a bleeding foot on. There was a bleeding foot on the bed.
No, bleeding foot. No. No, it was just it looked like a little stain. See, the lady was murdered at the foot of the bed. The guy, whoever did it, shot her in the back of the head at the foot of the bed. Yeah. So I just kind of noticed when he was showing us the room that there was a little spot there. And then I thought, this is where Miss B got murdered. Ooh, But we went ahead and told him, hey, it's fine. We'll be cool. We're cool with the room, And then that happened.
But we didn't tell him about the experience.
We debated on whether to tell him the next morning at breakfast, and we decided not to say anything. We just asked him if he'd adjusted the thermostat, and he said no.
So that's your Graceland story.
Yeah, that's the haunting Graceland story. But I got to tell you guys, that is the biggest article as far as views go that I've ever written. It's unbelievable. It's titled something like Haunted Graceland, something like that. I don't even remember the title now.
Well, Haunted people love Elvis.
Yeah, it deals with Elvis. There you go. That's it.
He's still alive, after all.
Do you really believe that?
Yeah, he's right there on the radio. Listen.
We kind of like...
Thank you very much.
Actually, Wolfman does karaoke Elvis. He's really good.
Man. Yeah. Zombie Elvis?
I can do Elvis anytime you want.
Oh, that's good, man. You can make a living as an impersonator.
Yes, sir. And ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
By the way, the title of that piece was Haunted Graceland and a Ghostly Encounter in Memphis. I wrote it kind of tongue-in-cheek, the Elvis part. But then at the end of it, I said, who's to say? Who knows? Maybe, he's still taking care of business. I don't know.
We should put that on our Twitter. We'll get a whole bunch of people.
Oh, you will, man. It's massive, brother. It's massive. People can't get enough Elvis.
Where did you guys meet? How long have you been together?
32 years.
Where'd you meet?
Where did we meet? We were both pulling into a bar.
That's how I met my wife.
Really?
I've never met an Alastar before.
Well, that's okay. Here's the deal on the name. The surname is a old family name, and when I got injured some time back, and I had a lot of time on my hands. So a friend said, why don't you write on the internet? So I started on the most popular writing site on the internet at the time, about 6 years ago. And, it was like a kid at Christmas for me. And sometimes I would sit at the computer for up to 10 hours, reading people's stories, commenting, everything. And to my surprise, I became kind of a superstar, literally, on that site for a couple of years. But, stuff like that can't go on forever. And, I kind of eventually settled out of that. But it was quite an experience, and it taught me how to write again. I mean, it didn't matter. I could write an article that really, really wasn't very good and was grammatically incorrect, but it didn't matter. I could get 100 comments because people just responded to somebody that was interested in them. You get what you give, sometimes in spades.
Mm-hmm. Right, and then you could tell their story better than probably they could.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, yeah.
So you guys have known each other a long time. When did you get into ghosts and paranormal?
Well,
you've been interested in it.
It really started for me as a child, but I didn't really hit, and then things start rolling till about the late 80s.
And then you started writing.
Yeah, the late 80s, because something clicked when all the information started coming out about the crop circles in England and this ship landing in Voronezh, Russia. There was like a veil just lifted off my mind.
Go back.
I mean, literally, because I'd never been that interested in anything like that before all that much, and then all of a sudden I couldn't get enough of it. It was really strange.
And then Janice got into it too.
Well, slowly but surely. She was a skeptic, at first about a lot of things, but she's come to be a believer because now she's experienced it herself.
What's the first experience you had firsthand?
For me or for Jan?
For either one of you. Which one had a first encounter?
I did. I'll tell you, this is how it is. I've had what I call the 5 no doubt about it paranormal experiences, and 4 or 5, maybe they were, maybe they weren't. So
what was the first one?
I was a child, maybe 8 years old. My daddy worked out of town, so sometimes I'd sleep in the bed with mom. And one night, I was just completely woken up, and there, standing at the foot of the bed, was what's commonly referred to as a hat man. It was just a black figure.
Shadow man.
No, it wasn't a shadow man. It was more like a hat man because it had
slender.
I would say, I don't know. It was just medium. It really wasn't the build of a human being. It just had a form that came up, and then shoulders and the head, and then like 2 pencils or something thin sticking out from its head on either side. And what happened was, I didn't realize this till years later, but it kind of gave me the subtle suggestion in my mind. It said, "Stay calm, don't move." Okay, that's what I got. So then I just stared at it. It didn't move.
You were in the bed with your parents?
With my mother, because my father
worked. Staring at this thing.
Yeah. I'm just woken up out of a deep sleep.
And how old were you?
I was about 8.
Oh,
about 8 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and to finish it up, there was a window behind it, so it was silhouetted. I could see it. I don't know if it was the moon, moonshine or something, some other light source, but whatever it was, I couldn't see any features. But anyway,
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So I see that, and after it gives me this suggestion, stay calm, don't move. I look at it for another 5 or 6 seconds. There's no doubt about it. This is not a dream. What I'm looking at is real. And then boom, sleep, instant sleep again. All right. The first thing the next morning, the sun shines coming through the windows, all that. And my mother and I wake up at the same time, and I jump up out of, my haunches and say, "Mom, somebody was in here last night." And she looks over at me and says, "Oh, no, there wasn't." And then both of us looked over at the dresser, at the same time, and there on the dresser were all the encyclopedias from the den stacked on that dresser, but not in, an even straight line. They were crooked, like one book this way, one book that way, one book this way, one book that way.
The whole set of encyclopedia?
A whole set of encyclopedias. And nothing else. There was nothing stolen. It's nothing. That was my first, what I call no doubt about it.
They were stacked in alphabetical order.
And, to get deeper into it, that was a sign for me, I believe. And I didn't realize this until, reflecting on it for decades, that that was a sign that the way my life was going to go, that it wasn't going to be an easy road, but I would gain a lot of knowledge through reading.
What did your mom think of it?
You know what? She said, after I said, Mom, somebody was, and we saw that, she said, there was somebody in here last night, and there was never a word said about it again between us.
Oh, man. Never? Not one time?
Not one time, no. It was, it was just the cat burglar. The cat burglar was in there. Because, the lockdown on the UFOs and alien or whatever, was complete back in the 60s. I didn't have any idea. I just knew something very strange had happened. And, and it's, you have to put it into a perspective, whatever level you're at whatever age. And at that age, it was just the cat burglar. So for years.
Vertically stacking books. Does that happen in other hauntings that you've ever heard of?
Well, I don't know. I just think everybody's experiences can sometimes be similar, and sometimes they can be completely different. So,
Eric, have you ever heard of that happening before?
Oh,
he's already gone to sleep.
No, I'm sorry. I had it on mute, and I was searching quickly to find the button to push it.
Oh, I thought I heard
about
somebody
that, guys.
snoring in there. I was gonna
I appreciate
have
you.
to electrocute. I thought I would.
I missed the point there, so I have to get more tuned in here. We need some music. Is there some crazy sound effects, Wolfman? When's that coming?
hang
Waiting
on.
patiently.
Hang on.
Have you ever heard of vertical book stacking?
Yeah,
Vertical book stacking.
Yeah,
That
vertical
sounds
book
interesting.
stacking.
Ghostbusters?
Okay.
Well,
I
if
got
you
something
have,
to
let
add
me
to
know,
this one.
I really would. I'd like to know if it's happened to anybody else that way.
Tell them what the result.
Never heard of it.
I've had dresser drawers fly across the room, but I've never heard
Whoa.
of vertical
Whoa.
book stacking.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a little more in your face. So
Oh yeah, this was pretty much in our face. Yeah. And, yeah.
I think this one was more subtle.
No, this was a big grinding sound and a big crash, and I'm like, what the hell was that? It sounded like a dresser drawer flying across the room, and
Wow.
my wife said the same thing. Yep, and it sounded like it's coming from the spare bedroom, which we don't use, which is a storage room. So I go to the storage room and open it up, and sure enough, there was a dresser drawer that had flown across the room by itself and hit the other wall, spilling the contents everywhere out of the drawer.
My goodness.
Yeah, and it's like the window was shut, the door was shut. It's never been open for weeks.
Wow. What did y'all figure? Did you ever come to any?
Well, yeah. Well, we knew it had to do with the haunted grandfather clock that we had.
Oh.
And I think I failed to pay attention to the spirit for a couple days. And it was getting restless because it was not getting the attention it was used to.
Oh. Wow. What kind of attention did it like?
It would like to peek from behind the grandfather clock, and it's like a shadow person. And you had to notice him, and wave to him, say hi. Are you trying to fix the clock today? Or just talk to it.
Wow.
Well, he certainly let you know.
And if you ignored him for a few days, he would do things, start throwing things around, and get noticed.
Well, definitely.
You had to pretend you were scared of him sometimes. You go, oh my, oh, that's you. Oh, okay. Oh, hello. We actually,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
we
something
actually
that's
found
real-
out. We found out the name of the ghost too. It was written inside
really?
There was a memorial plaque written inside of this clock that my wife had bought from a flea market kind of store, a pawn shop.
Wow.
So and then we realized the clock was given to someone as a memorial gift.
What was his name? Do you remember?
I can't remember, but actually, we gave the clock away to my my wife's son's friend as an experiment because they don't believe in ghosts. So we're still waiting to find out what's going to happen when they have it at their house right now.
Hey, yeah, they get one experience, and it's a whole new paradigm. Yeah, one good experience will do it.
Or you'll get your clock back.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden we'll get this thing out of my house. Yeah.
Sell it to somebody you don't like.
Sounds like the what's that? The Dybbuk box. You heard of that one?
Man, finally I got my.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's I'm not all that familiar with it. It's supposed to be a haunted piece of furniture or something that's, nobody can keep it for long. It's been on TV, It's pretty famous.
What is it? Look, what is it?
I don't know. It's sort of like a little. I don't even know what you call it. It's got two little doors on it or something. A little small piece of furniture. It's haunted, and nobody can keep for very long. They have to pawn it off on somebody else or give it away.
Wow.
So, Alistair, how often would you think about that after you're 8? Did you put it out of your mind for years, or?
No, it would pop up occasionally. It was something that I was meant to see, and
so it wasn't like every day, but.
No, not every day, but it was just something that I never forgot. It was that unusual.
So you have 4 more. What was the next one?
Oh God, here we go. Now some of these I can't. I'm not sure because a lot of them happened around the same time. They say that our brains become really receptive or grow or something between the ages of 30 and 50, I think, somewhere in there. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so a couple of these happened within several years of each other. So I can't exactly say.
You had a long stretch.
Yeah.
Between 8 and 30 where you didn't have.
Right. Yeah, it was a long stretch. It sure was.
Oh, man.
The next one was probably the experience I had at Boone's Cave State Park.
Where's that?
It's about in the middle of North Carolina. It's the smallest state park in the state, and it's secluded. And it's where Daniel Boone's family first came when they moved to North Carolina during the frontier times.
How big is it?
It's very small. It's about 110 acres.
Okay, we're gonna take a short break, everybody. I got a shout out to Tiffany in the chat room. She's amazing. Oh my God! You want to talk experiencer? And Emma Frost, a new follower of mine. I want to shout out to Dave Cruz from Strange Days, I think it is. It's Beyond the Strange, his show. Who was on just before us and is listening to us right now as I got out of his chat room. And I want to shout out to, who else do we got here? God of Thunder and Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, who's on the air right now on the West Coast. Ron J. Anybody else got any shout outs? Willie, we got a shout out to Willie. He's in our chat room. And now we're going to go to some Jethro Tull. I hope you like this one, everybody. I picked this for the high strangeness.
to be taking the air, sitting, walking on velvet green, walking on velvet green, distant clouds blowing, never again, with your legs in the air, loving, walking on velvet green. Won't you have company as they can bring your hands? Go down velvet green with a countryman who's the young girl's fancy and the old place dream. Tell your mother that you walked all night on velvet green. One dusky hop fires right up to the north. There lies your reputation, all that you wanted. Where the scent of wild roses stands the filter green. Tell your mother that you walked all night on velvet green. And the long grass flowers in the evening cool. And office red lights maybe April's fool. But think none of that, my love. I'm tied against the sea, and I am rowing back to meet you down on velvet green. If we live a life, let's light into rise. On golden daffodils that catch a silver stream that washes out the wild oat seed on velvet green. We're free as loving is under the stars, but civilization's raging apart. And the ragged outline graves on your naked stars as you walk on cold and alone upon velvet green. Walking on velvet green, scarlet pine growing. Isn't it rare? But to be taking the air, singing, walking on velvet green, walking on velvet green, distant clouds blowing, and then again, when you're left in the air, loving, walking on velvet green.
That was cool. All right, I dig it. Okay. Woo, yeah. Oh, baby. I'm going to do some Elvis later. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Excellent choice, Wolfman.
Oh, yeah, we got a request for me to sing some Elvis later for one of the breaks. So I'll do Elvis karaoke.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And, talking about synchronicity, during the break, Janice suggested, we talk a little bit more about Graceland and Elvis and all that. I was just wondering, what do you guys think, about, Elvis ghosts and all that stuff?
I seen the ghost of Elvis one time.
Really?
But we called it on. We had a seance, and we called his spirit in.
Wait a minute, are you sure it wasn't an impersonator? Yes.
It would have to be a dead impersonator, and this was probably like around. What year did he die? 77.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we probably did it like the year after, so it was like 78, something like that. It was a year after.
Is that right?
Yeah. And we were staring at each other's faces, calling on the oh my God, Moog Boy's cracking me up in the chat room. I can't even think.
Hey, Wolfman, did y'all really think that was Elvis, or
well, yeah, I saw the face of Elvis. My friend's face turned into the face of Elvis.
Wow, and everybody was drug free, right? No.
Yeah, well, we were just kids. We were kids.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, that's
we were
amazing.
kids. We were doing a seance. We were just kids.
Yeah. Well, you may have. You never know. But you know what? There's always that possibility you could have called something in that was impersonating the great man. The great one.
Shout out to Moog Boy. He's hilarious, man. He's posted something in #47talk. Oh, it's just killing me laughing now.
What is it?
Yeah.
It's something about some guy seeing an alien. It's just the way his face is going up and down. Alien from Jupiter.
Wolfman.
I don't know, but it's funny.
Wolfman.
Yeah.
You did seances when you were a kid?
Yes.
Naughty
Who taught you
boy.
to do it?
It was my idea.
Well, you started early.
Did you know it was a seance?
Yeah. We did something called Faces and Features. It was me and an Italian girl around the corner that come up with it, and we made up this thing called Faces and Features. And we'd go inside of this, like it was like a playhouse. What do you call it? A tree house or a tree fort? But we had it so it was all darkened, completely dark in there. We blocked it all out with rugs and blankets and stuff. And so it was completely dark in there when you shut the door. And if there was any light coming in, it was just a very small amount. But yeah, and then we just stare at each other. It could be a bunch of us all staring across at each other into someone else's face. And then we'd call for the faces and features of somebody deceased. And the other person across from you, their face would transform into the features of the person you were asking.
And Elvis showed up?
Yeah, it worked every time. You could call anyone you want. It worked every time.
So you specifically called Elvis? Somebody
I specifically called Elvis because he was my hero.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And he came.
He came. Well, was it like an apparition type, or just solid, or wavy, or what did it look like?
Yeah, it was like an energy sort of plasm from your TV or something that.
Oh man, I'm digging it. Okay, yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. But it wasn't like solid, but it would just go like ectoplasm would form into that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you and I do have a lot in common, Wolfman, because I had an experience that's quite similar, but we can talk about that later. But yeah, that's awesome. Wow.
You saw Elvis?
Yes.
No, Alastar.
Oh, no. I didn't see Elvis. I saw something else. Okay. It wasn't a person.
Oh, dear.
I hope we get back to it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can talk about it. No, it wasn't the devil. I don't know what it was.
Let's
but,
talk about. Well, you got to tell us now. Or we'll
Okay.
forget.
Well, this has to do with the Boone's Cave again. Okay. It's kind of a lot to that Boone's Cave Park area there. The first time I visited the Boone's Cave Park was in 1990. And I had a day off from work and I saw it on a map. I said, hey, let me go check this place out. And I got there and I was all alone. It's a secluded park. Not many people go there. And I was walking around, checking everything out. And then there was this cave. It's a small cave. Okay. You can like sit at the entrance to it and see everything in it. It's that small, about the size of a bedroom. And there was a tunnel, about a 12-foot tunnel off to the left of the main cave. And you could stand, it was about 3 feet tall. You couldn't stand up in them. You could sit in one place and you could see down the tunnel and the main cave at the same time. So
how deep was the tunnel?
It was about 10, 12 feet.
Okay.
It started off about 4 feet, I'd say, and then it tapered. It was a granite, and then it tapered down near the end of it. Anyway, so I was sitting there staring at the main cave, right? And there's a little granite slab there or something. I was thinking, oh man, how cool that Daniel Boone might have sat there or slept there or something, because supposedly the Boone family had briefly lived in that cave while they constructed their cabin when they came to North Carolina wilderness. Okay. So, I was just thinking that. And then, it wasn't long. I just my head turned to the left and I stared down the tunnel. And fellas, there was a sight to make a person turn and shake their head. And that's exactly what it did. It was stunning. Okay, I shook my head, right? And then I turned and looked again, and there it was, not about 5 or 6 feet away, was the face of a wolf. Now, this was not a flesh and blood fur wolf, okay? It had red eyes, perfect features, and kind of an electricity plasma like appearance to it, just like Wolfman was describing Elvis. And it was looking at me benignly, but when you see something like that, your reptile brain kicks in, fight or flight.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, fellas, the minute that my brain realized that what I was looking at was real, I took off running at Olympic speed. Okay. I was scared.
Did you think it was real, or did you think it was?
Oh yeah, it was. No, there was no doubt about it.
It was
no
real.
Hallucination. This was real. That was there. I glanced at it the first time and I turned and shook my head. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
I thought you were going to say you saw Igor. He does really sick things. I'm sorry, guys, when you're in the castle and I always have to tell him, just tell him to go back to the dungeon if he's bothering you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hey, Igor would have dug this entity. I'm telling you, because it had an electric-like construction to it. It's hard to describe.
How long did you look at it?
The first time, a second or two before I turned my head and shook it, and then the second time a little bit longer. I made sure. But what I'm saying is, the instant that my brain realized that what the eyes were beholding was real, that fight or flight response kicked in like I've never experienced. And I ran.
So what'd you do? Just go back to your car and leave?
I got in that car, brother, and I made tracks.
Did you ever go back?
Yes, I did. 15 years later. 15 years later, I went back because, it'd been on my mind all those years, and I just kind of wanted closure to the whole thing. So I got a piece of meat, and I went there, and I just tossed it in the tunnel and said, I don't know, maybe it made me feel better about the whole thing. I left.
That really affected you.
Yes, it did. It was amazing, man.
Now, Wolfman has a story about leaves forming into a creature, don't you, Wolfman?
Oh, it formed the face of an Indian or a Native American person with a headdress on, like like chief's feathers.
And I thought I'd had experiences.
Did that scare you the same way?
The leaves bent. No, we weren't scared. We were too young. My brother and I thought it was really cool. Like, oh, look at the Indian in the tree. And we were laughing and yay, mommy, look.
Yeah. So you don't think that was a paradiola or anything like that?
Oh, no. The leaves bent into the shape of a detailed face.
Wow.
It
Wow,
was
detailed.
no pareidolia there. No, it was very, very, very clear. Hey, Tiffany, don't leave. Just don't listen to these people if they're bothering you in the chat room. She believes she's a medium, she says, and with slight telekinesis. Well, I have a video from Adam, from our own Adam Shadow, of him doing some telekinesis. Actually, it was just sent to me. So
Wow.
don't feel like you're strange if you can move objects with your mind, because
No. That's
there's nothing strange about it.
Inherent in human beings that we've lost.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
So, Alastar, after all this time, what do you think it was, and what was it trying to teach you?
Okay, my first thoughts for years was like the spirit of a mother wolf, because that den had probably been there for millennia, No telling how many wolves or other creatures had made a home there. So for years and years and years, I thought that it was, some kind of spirit of a wolf, just the wolf spirit. Okay.
Do you think it's your ghost spirit?
No, not at all. Not at all. This was an entirely different entity. This was not generated through my mind. In later as the decades wore on, and I researched more, I began to think it was another entity mimicking a wolf. Yeah. Have you ever heard?
Can I share something really quick?
Yeah,
Sure.
I was just going to ask you, Eric, about the white wolf that
John Polk.
Father John,
Spirit guide.
Reverend
Yes,
John
you,
Polk.
you, you
Reverend
read my mind. That's exactly what I was going to tell you about. So this is an interesting story. John Polk just told Tiffany and I this story a few days ago. This is a true story. So John Polk gave me permission to tell this story. So he has a succubus that's attached to his. I don't know a lot about what succubus are, but it's some sort of spirit energy.
Yeah.
And he calls her Elizabeth.
Ooh.
And apparently this Elizabeth spirit has been following around for many, many years.
Uh-oh.
And he just pops into his bedroom occasionally and starts talking in his room.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting out in the living room, and Tiffany's in the back room, which is in a room adjacent to John Polk's room. And she comes out. She says, "Who's in John's room?" And John says, "What do you mean?" He says, "I hear a lady speaking in your room.
Uh-oh.
Do you have the TV on in there?" John says, "No." Oh, no, that's Elizabeth, my succubus. So John proceeds to tell this story about this lady, this succubus energy who always tries to interfere in his love relationships. Mm-hmm. So he finds these two psychics in Orlando, Florida, and he brings them both to his house, and one of them brings a spirit catcher, sets it on the couch, and they're going to do a seance to try to, erase the whatever it is they do, cleanse the energy to get this Elizabeth succubus out of his life. So then all of a sudden the spirit catcher flies off the couch, and one of the ladies that was the psychic gets up. She has to go to the bathroom. So she goes into the bathroom. I'm going to get to the white wolf next. So she goes into the bathroom, and then she comes out of the bathroom, and then all of a sudden she's holding her throat, and she falls on the ground.
Wow.
And so John Polk's sitting in the chair, during this little kind of seance gathering in his living room, and he could see what's happening. He could see this Elizabeth in her spirit form choking this lady, but you can't see it physically. He's seeing it in her spirit form. Yeah. So anyway, while this is happening, all of a sudden to the rescue comes John's white wolf, his spirit guide.
Well,
and somehow shocks or whatever that white wolf did. I forget how John told the story better than I'm telling right now, but somehow got this Elizabeth succubus off this lady. And so the lady was able to breathe and catch her breath, but they had to take her to the hospital, and she was in intensive care for a whole day after that.
Wow.
So the white wolf spirit is John Polk's spirit, and it's apparently a pretty powerful spirit.
Absolutely.
So that's my story right there.
That's a good one too.
That is his spirit guide, and I believe I've encountered the same spirit guide myself.
Wow. Yeah. I think that wolf maybe was your spirit guide.
Yeah, other people have suggested that, but and that's a good summation, good conclusion, to think, but I don't think that was it, really. I think it was just an entity that is interdimensional. They're mentioned in the Quran, the Bible. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's where we get the word genie from.
Oh, the jinn.
Yeah.
Jinn.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, they are really hard to get rid of.
There's not things you want to mess with, but supposedly they're different.
I've had to deal with one this year.
Really?
Yeah, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to get rid of.
Well, tell us. Let's hear it. What happened?
Well, we knew there was something roaming. First, it was in our house. Then I cast it out of the house, and it wouldn't leave the yard, and it's outside all the time doing stuff, banging on windows, throwing things around in the yard.
Yeah,
pushing trees, shaking trees.
Jeez. Excuse me. Yeah, you've got an infestation of something not good, that's for sure.
I fashioned myself a magic wand, and I use it in cases of dire need like that. And I've chased it down the driveway. I hit it on the head with my magic wand, and the magic wand actually broke on its head, and my wife saw it.
Wolfman, are you a warlock?
I wouldn't call it a warlock, maybe a wizard.
You are. This guy's got you nailed.
Okay. Hey, one of my best friends.
All right, I'm a freaking warlock. You got me.
One of my best friends is the Queen of the Wiccans in Tennessee, so her name's so long I can't pronounce it.
It was the only thing that worked on it was my magic wand, and then I found actually didn't get rid of it though. And I found out I couldn't use violence to get rid of the damn thing. I had to use love. So I went out there one day and I sat beside it and I said, listen, why don't you just come in, have something to eat, and just be part of the family because we love you. And I really meant it. And I was just talking to it like it was my kid.
Yeah, killed it with kindness.
Yeah, and it worked. It never came back.
Just like Debbie.
It fucking hated that. It just hated that treatment of being loved.
Yeah, I can't take it because they're negative entities.
It lived to torture you.
Hey, here's a quick one. This is a lady. I guarantee she's credible. Okay, she's an incredible lady. She's a strong Christian, but she's also really up into the paranormal because she's experienced a lot of stuff herself. There was a young girl. You may have heard about this because it made the national papers. I think international news. A young girl several years here in North Carolina got cut up in pieces by her stepmother, who put the pieces all over the county. It's bizarre and horrible. 10-year-old adopted girl from Australia. I can't know her name. Anyway, to make a long story short, one day.
Yeah, let's make it short.
Yeah, we will make it real short. One day, a girl that lived next door to the trailer where that young girl that lived with the family came over to visit my friend. And while all the kids were playing in the garage, there was a china cabinet or something she had, and she suddenly saw a mist swirling on the top of it. I mean, all of a sudden, this little demon-like thing it really was a demon. It had like a tail, and all that stuff. And it started to form. And she just in a loud voice said, get out of my house right now. And she said it kind of dropped off the top of the cabinet and just kind of whoosh, went right out the door in the garage past the kids. And
She said in the name.
In the name of God or whatever she said. God demand you to leave. And apparently it did. But what she figured later was that it had followed that neighbor girl from that horrible scene there where that young girl was cut up. And trying to set up shop somewhere else, but it picked the wrong place. But yeah, it's a true story.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd throw that in.
That's creepy, man.
Yeah, I mean, and this woman, believe me, is very credible. I mean, I wouldn't even repeat that if I didn't believe her. And,
Alastar.
Yes, sir.
So, you left the cave and you jumped in your car. You were with Janice at the time, right?
No. I was all by myself, and there wasn't anybody else at the park.
No, I meant you were with her. You were married to her.
Oh yeah. Sure.
So
Yeah.
did you tell her what happened as soon as you got home?
I don't remember if it was as soon as I
Yes,
got
he
home.
did.
Did I? Okay.
Well, as soon as I got home
She,
from work,
she'll tell you.
What
he was
did he say?
he was just breathless about it. He just couldn't get over it. He kept talking about it on and on and on. He told me the same thing he just told you guys, that he, had seen it and ran away, but he was still kind of a little shaky from it because he just wasn't really sure what he saw. So
Yeah.
we were together then, and then that 15 years later, when he went back, I was with him that time.
With a hunk of meat.
Yeah, and he said, "Are you gonna go in the caves and I'll take some pictures?" Sure, I said.
That's the latest visit. That
was the latest visit. I'm sorry. You've been there 3 times.
Yeah.
The latest visit was when I was
We'll
with
do
him.
that later. That's got something else.
And I told him I'd go in the cave too, but I don't like the dark and I'm claustrophobic. So when we got there, I wouldn't go in. I said, I'll take the pictures. You go in. If you don't come back out, I'll get somebody.
Slingshot the meat into the back of the cave there.
That was the second time. I forgot he went back in between the first time he saw it and the time I went with him. He did go back one time.
What do you think the wolf was?
I think it was a wolf spirit myself, but he saw it and he's thought about it a lot. So he's had what he told you, that he thought it might have been.
That was my original thought too for years. But then I researched it, and then I came on this really good book, and then I discovered a whole new possibility, and that's when I started thinking, it could have been something else, because the certain jinn, the young, like to take on the form of animals and get up close to human beings because they're curious, just like human children are curious, And I think, I can't say for sure that was it. I don't know, but that's just.
But you didn't feel love from it, from those red eyes.
No, I didn't feel love, brother. But I don't think it meant me any harm. It just scared the living, what out of it. Yeah.
You can say it on this show.
Yeah, I don't think it was, an evil entity or anything like that.
Okay.
When I originally wrote the story, the park ranger made a comment and said that she had felt, certain things in that park while she was there, and she, and there's some other things that have gone on there.
That's
and,
also where we saw the tree spirit.
Yeah, and that's also when the last trip we made is where we got that picture of that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We don't know about this. Tell us about the tree spirit.
Okay. Let's see. Back in May of 2015, we made a little trip to Middle North Carolina. Go to different historic sites and mysterious sites to get pictures and stories for the website. Right. So first place we went was Boone's Cave. We walked around, saw the new cabin, did this and that, and then I wanted to go see the cave. And Janice and I was telling her about, we were going over my experience there. And when we got to it, she, I told her to go in there and take pictures or something. She said, "I'm not going in there."
Oh.
And I said, "Well, I don't really want to go in there either." But then something came over me. Yeah, something came over me right then. I don't know what. It's hard to explain. Where I got, I said, I'm going to do it. So I went in there and I started taking digitals everywhere. And then I got a kind of bravado about me. I don't know where that came from. And I started crawling around on my hands and knees all through the cave. And I went down the tunnel, and I wanted to get in the exact spot where that entity had appeared. And I was saying things like, "Show yourself. I'm not scared of you anymore. Give me some proof." Stuff like that. Vocalizations of that sort.
It sounds just like Wolfman.
Yeah, just like the Wolfman. Just like the Wolfman. But nothing happened. Nothing happened in the cave. So
he has a story of when he was feeling extra powerful and he was walking along a cemetery with fireflies, and one of the fireflies turned into a big ball of fire.
Good God.
Yeah.
You haven't heard the story?
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
Oh,
Are you there, Wolfman?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah,
Sounds just like you.
I know. He's got the same attitude when he's going after things. I mean, that's exactly the way I approach it.
Oh, good. We're brothers in arms.
Yeah.
Hey, Darren, we appreciate you carrying the show for Wolf, by the way.
All right, guys, I get into these interviews and I just get carried away.
Oh, I let Darren
You're the man,
take
bro.
it.
You got the best questions in the business. You're the man.
I let him take it. When he's on a roll, I let Darren go because I'm getting ready.
That's what the executive host does. You do a great job, Wolf.
Yeah,
great job.
and it's time. Guess what time it is?
Time for a song.
Oh my
some reggae.
gosh!
You guys gonna play some reggae tonight or what?
Yeah.
Oh, you want reggae?
Elvis.
I want Elvis.
Ah,
What is
yes.
Tiffany? Tiffany wants to hear something. Tiffany, post something in the chat room. What do you
How
want
about we'll do both. I'll put a little bit of reggae on and I'll get an Elvis ready.
Okay.
And this is gonna be Tribal Seeds. This song's called Dark Angel.
Separation, asking for deliverance for just one girl, to come cross my path, proceed on my roads. Dark angel, descending from the sky, come to darken our nights. She wiped away the years I cried. Which way does this angel strike? Descending from the sky, come to darken our nights. She wiped away the years I cried. Which way does this angel? Said I have her, said I had her, said I want her, just don't need her. You receive what you crave, you still won't be satisfied. The question still rolls in my mind, yet I wouldn't leave her for false assumption. Want the company of depression, yeah now. Only one who answered the call. Lift I to my feet when my knees get to the fall. And it was just one girl. It was just one girl. So here I call. Dark angel, descending from the sky, come to darken our nights. She wiped away the years I cried. Which way does this angel strike? Descending from the sky, come to darken our nights. She wiped away the years I cried. to love your name. Dark angel descending from the sky, come to darken our nights. She wiped away the years I cried, which made us distinction stripes. Descending from the sky, come to darken our nights. She wiped away the years I cried, which made us distinction.
Oh, take me to your leader.
All right, groovy man. And we are back.
That wasn't 5 minutes, was it?
No, I'm gonna do the Elvis. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah, because nobody's ready.
We're not live yet, right?
Oh, you are, sir. And now we're gonna do some Elvis Presley. All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I know you've been waiting for this. All right, here we go. All right, yes, I am the Wolf Man. Oh yeah.
Slash
Okay.
Elvis.
Sitting all alone, please don't come around. At least please telephone. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Baby, if I made you mad, something I might have said, please let's forget the past. The future looks bright ahead. Oh, don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. Don't stop thinking of me, don't make me feel this way. Come over here and love me, you know I want you say. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Why should we be apart? I really love you, baby. Across my heart. Let's do the preacher, and let's say I do. Then you know you have me. I know I have you too. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby. It's just you I'm thinking of. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. Oh yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Hey, what are you laughing at? I'm the king. Hey, come on. Hey, half the audience is laughing. Oh, what? Whoa, come on, man. I'm the king. What? Oh man, I'm out of here, man.
You're awesome, Wolfman. You're great.
Well, thank you.
Good job. Thank you.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Even though half the
Nobody
audience.
does it like the Wolf. That's all I got to say.
I think. Yeah.
He almost had me believing that was an Elvis song.
That was me.
He was channeling Elvis, I think is what he was doing, actually.
Yeah.
He was coming in and out because every now and then the wolf would come out. That was the part that was out of tune, and then the tune part came in.
that was the channeling.
Okay. Oh yeah, that part I did wonder about. Now you've answered the question. Yeah.
his face transform?
No.
Hey,
Good one.
I'm kind of anxious to hear another story from Janice. Janice, can you tell us something funny or something kind of weird or strange that's happened in the last year or two
Something that happened
with
to
you and
you.
your family?
Yes.
Now, she hasn't had the experiences I've had, but yeah, I'd like to hear it too. Why don't you tell them about? She's the one that took the picture of that thing at the tree. Let her tell you about that. Go ahead, Janice.
Okay. It was the day that I visited Boone's Cave with Alastar, and we had, already made our stop at the cave. And so we decided while we were there just to go ahead and hike the trail back to the parking lot. So we go down through there and the mosquitoes are like eating us up. But we said, we're going to go. We're not going to turn around and go back. So we saw a sign about the tallest cottonwood tree in the east of the Mississippi. So we decided to go down to see that tree. Well, I had the camera, so I was doing the pictures, and Alastar was walking ahead of me. And so I decided to take pictures of the tree, and he had just walked up to the tree. He was just a few feet from it. So I take a picture, and then, of course, we take more pictures. When we got home, I downloaded the pictures off the SD card into the computer. And when it came to that picture of the cottonwood tree, my mouth just flew open and I said, oh my God, what is this? And so, of course, he heard me and he come running in the room to look at it. And there we had caught that little tree spirit, just as plain as day. So I couldn't see him, though, when I took the picture. He showed up on the film or on the picture. So we sent the picture to a couple of people that are really experts at what they do. And they checked it and could not find, that there was anything photoshopped or anything wrong with the digital camera or the memory card. So that was quite cool that I was one that got that picture.
Hey, and tell them that I'd asked that you be shown something.
Oh yeah, and when we were hiking there, and right before he went in the cave, he said, "Well, I hope you see something too." And he, kind of set it out into the blue. He said, "Show Janice something while we're here." Well, I didn't see it then, but I saw it later when I downloaded the picture or uploaded the picture. So that was quite an experience when I clicked on that picture and saw that. So that's the picture that you have. We've watermarked it so it couldn't be copied. And
is it on our website?
I think.
Yeah, I sent it to Wolfman. Yeah.
Well, it's probably we don't have my my spectacular wizard of what do we call him? He's a binary wizard. He's a digital shaman. It's Jeff the Gray, but we don't have him right now. He's been so busy with his work that he hasn't been able to update our website for a while. But it's on hashtag 47talk, which we use on Twitter as our sort of chat room on Twitter, and it's also, I think I put it on Facebook too, on our Facebook.
That's the only picture I've ever watermarked. The hundreds we've taken. That's the only one I put a watermark on.
Can you tell us what it looks like on the radio here?
Well, I tell you what, when you first see it, the little rounded part that's on the tree, you kind of almost, I know this sounds, silly, but it reminds you of Casper, but not really. I mean, it's just initially. And then when you really look at it, it kind of looks like it was shape shifting. And the weird thing about it was Janice was moving behind me when she took the picture, so she was in motion, but the image itself not only looks like it's in motion but standing still at the same time. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, and this is what I was told by somebody, that it wanted, really,
you're going to go out on a limb?
Yeah, go out on a limb. Hey, that's fun. Yeah, but to be honest, I just think that it wanted to reveal itself, and wanted me in the picture with it. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I think that's what happened. And I finally got some kind of proof. And Janice, and it didn't happen at the park. I didn't say anything at the park about wanting her to see something. But in my mind, you know how you think, and you go out and you let your thoughts out to the universe. For a couple of years, I've been kind of asking, hey, let Janice see something. Let Janice see something. And it finally happened. She's the one that took the picture, and so she's not a skeptic anymore.
That's way. Like Eric and I. Eric, have you had an experience at all?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Are you an experiencer?
I gotta tell you about the tree spirits I seen. Shouldn't Don't you think, Eric?
Go for the tree spirits. Yeah,
because it's similar. Like your picture reminds me of my experience. I was following these what I thought
you told me about that.
Were fireflies, and they weren't fireflies, and they were hanging around an old cemetery, and hanging around the corner of these woods and these trees, and I called it out, and one of the fireflies comes up to me, and it erupts into a 10-foot, like the size of a basketball or red orb. Yeah, and it was floating right in front of me.
Okay, that was a drinking night?
No, no, sir.
Go Beckley Teppy.
No, I had a young child I was watching, and we were sitting outside by a campfire having some beers, but I wasn't drunk.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
How could I ever doubt anybody? After what I've experienced, how can I doubt anybody?
Like, even if I was drunk, to tell you the truth, if I get drunk enough that I hallucinate, I don't remember any of that the next day.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything from if I get that drunk. Some of the shows, the after shows I've done, I don't remember even doing them.
Wow.
After a certain point, I'm done. I don't remember any of it. So
you're cool, man. You are real cool.
So if I see something, it's not when I was drunk. Because when I'm drunk, I don't remember anything. Honest to God.
We know.
I was ribbing you. I was ribbing you. I believe it. I mean, if you're serious, I believe you. I really. Here, I want to say something real quick. A guy sent me in a photo, an old man retired up in the mountains, and he and another guy were like recreating moonshiners. They had like a moonshine still or something. They were just fooling around, and he had this mist and stuff around him, and he was adamant that that he didn't mess with the film or anything like that. So I let my photography expert take a look at it, and she came back and said, it looks cloned to me. I said, okay. And she explained why. And when I told him what she had said, he really got upset, and I felt sorry for him. He said, I swear to God, I didn't do anything to that picture, this and that. And I told him, look, I believe you. Even though she says that it looks cloned to her, nobody bats 1,000, and she's not right all the time. Nobody is on anything. So, if you say that, I believe you.
I believe him.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, didn't you call for the
Janice?
Spirit? He had his magic staff.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, that's the way it is. And another thing I found out is people really have experienced at least one thing in their lives that they can't explain. I found that out on the writing site when I was, and that more people than you think have had experiences. They just, don't talk about them or whatever. But so,
I have not.
You have,
Eric,
now, who's this?
Eric did.
Darren.
Yeah, but we did cut off Eric a minute ago. Eric, did you want to finish what you were saying, sir?
No, I didn't. He just asked me if I was an experiencer, but I haven't actually experienced any ET type phenomena, but I did experience a UFO that was flying across the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, there you go.
I've actually got a videotape. It's about a 45-second tape. It was flying. There's where I live. It's in Shell Beach, Shell Beach has, or Avila Beach actually has the Diablo nuclear power plant, and you're not allowed to fly planes over there or helicopters or anything. It's totally restricted. Right. So one night I'm looking out the window, on my bed, and I see a light appear out there, right over that area, and it starts to move towards where I'm at over the ocean, and there's no flight pattern. There's nothing that needs to be in that area ever. So as it's moving very slowly, and then at about 45 seconds, it just blinks out. Whatever it was, it just disappeared. So I'm kind of thinking that was probably something not from this planet, or maybe, it was on this planet, but not made by us, probably.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What you saw was out of the ordinary. Yeah. Something mysterious, wherever it came from.
UAP, as Hillary would say.
Yeah.
Hillary and Podesta. Their UAP stuff.
I'm gonna go eat some pizza. Okay, hold on.
Oh my God.
Stay out of the Virginia area, though. You don't want to eat pizza over there.
You've got the Pizzagate expert here.
Tiffany's asking if we've seen her telekinesis from the chat room.
Seen it?
Yeah.
Or felt?
Now I'm not sure who she's directing.
What's she trying to convey?
I'm not sure who she's directing it to. I'm assuming Eric.
Okay. I could tell you. I could post in #47 talk. I'll look for it. But I was filming Tiffany at John Polk's house. I took a piece of paper and folded it in half and set it on the table. And she was telling me that her spirit energy, or whatever energy she was feeling, it was heightened at John Polk's house for some reason. So first thing she did, actually, she took her hands, both hands, and put one hand over the top of one of my hand and the other hand underneath my hand, and was moving them slowly back and forth over my hand. And I could literally feel energy going from my wrist through my palm, through my fingers. And then as she would go past my fingertips, it felt like they were being pinched. Wow. It was an obvious energy, and I'd never experienced that before. So then she takes this piece of paper that's on the table, and she starts moving her hand back and forth on the side of it, about, say, 4 or 5 inches away, back and forth, real fast. Wow. And you can't create wind. The way she was doing it, there was no wind, because I put my hand over there because I was trying to see, is she creating a wind here? There's no wind. It was all, John Polk says, you could show that to people, but they're just going to tell you it was wind. But I'm telling you right now, it was not wind. So she's moving her hand back and forth, and all of a sudden this paper starts to kind of move and spin. And then she moves her hand away from the paper, and it follows her and falls over. So she did this several times. So I know she's got skills. Mm-hmm. That's all I can say.
That's pretty strong telekinesis, to tell you the truth. Yeah. I've seen people do telekinesis, and it's really hard to even move a piece of paper. So if the thing fell off the table, that's really powerful telekinesis.
Yeah. What do you guys think of that? What's his name? The latest master magician. What does he call himself?
Chris Angel?
No, the one that's come after him, Dynamite.
Oh my gosh, some of that stuff I've seen. Yeah. I've seen how the stunts work, but some of it is not stuntable, and I think it's real.
Yeah, some of it has to be real. You know the backstory to that. Something about him going out in the woods for a couple of weeks, and he'd been bullied or something, and he went out in the woods there in England, and then comes back with all these magician powers.
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about that if you want me to.
Yeah, I'd like to hear about that.
Explanation of this is he has a what we would call a demon, and he has it captured, probably with a sigil or something, or some kind of magical charm. He has this thing captured like a genie in a lamp, and he can. Jinn. Yes, it could be a jinn, and he can, and that's what they do, and then they get this thing to do things for them.
Yeah,
humans.
I don't wish. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So humans' psychic abilities are limited, but if you capture a demon or a jinn, they can do amazingly powerful things.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. You know, he's playing with fire.
Oh yeah, they're all playing with fire. These guys, they are playing with fire.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
you know,
my
fame and
opinion.
fortune.
Anyways, I don't know if that's, but that's what from what my research I've done, and I've really tried to figure this out because I wanted to be a magician when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
I love magic. Like, but I do think that's what they're doing.
I agree with you. I agree.
What do you
I've
think,
never even
Eric?
heard of this guy.
Eric, what do you
Yeah.
think of that? What I just said?
I'm actually looking for the video right now that I was going to post. So I kind of
Janice, what do you think of that? What I just said?
She watches the people. What's the PC word for it? You know, not midgets, but
Little people.
little people. Yeah, she watches the little people stuff. Sorry.
No, I do believe in the jinn. I guess I've lived with Alastar long enough that my mind has opened up a lot to different things, and especially the paranormal. And so I remember one time when he experienced a UFO, and we lived in another town then. I'll let him tell you about the actual experience, but when he came in, he was white as a ghost, and he was telling me about seeing this UFO, and I just thought he was drunk, you know, because he had never reacted like that in front of me before, because this was many years ago. It was in the 90s. And so he did see a UFO because it was in the paper the next day that people actually saw it. Like one church, the congregation had just let out, and some of them saw it.
What did he see?
It was a huge UFO, and it came fairly close over where we lived. But before he saw it, the animals were going crazy, and he was just spending some time outside, unwinding from work, and it was dark. And so I'll let him finish it up.
Well, actually, she's got it kind of right.
Is it Alastar or Alastar?
Yeah, it's Alastar, whatever you, Alastar, whatever you want to call me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was worried I was calling you the wrong name the whole show.
Oh, you know, I don't really care what you call me, but you know, what happened with that UFO is, you remember I told you in the late '80s I had like a curtain lift from my mind, and all of a sudden got interested in the subject.
Mm-hmm.
Remember getting into the show? All right, I got so involved in it, I would like go out in the fields at night and lay down, and I would look up at the sky, the night sky, and I would say, "Come down and show yourself. I want to see you, please. Come down." Over and over. It went on for, you know, about a year or longer, really. I mean, even in the rain, the mist, I would just go out in the fields and lay down and look up at the sky, and I would, you know, emanate out of my mind up there to the universe. I would say, "Come down and show yourself."
Right.
Okay. Well, we moved to a new town, and I kind of forgotten about all that stuff, right? One day I came home from work, and I don't know why I did this. I just sat in the truck listening to the radio from about 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And now I only found out it was 9 o'clock by a ex or a former state MUFON director, because he told me the exact time this happened and the date, because I wasn't sure about that stuff. What happened was about 9 o'clock, all of a sudden found myself in the front yard. And I don't know how I got there. And there was a strange cat at my foot going back and forth like it was on a yardstick. And it was scared. I mean, it was, you know, just confused and scared, running back and forth like on a yardstick. And then I heard the cows in the pasture just go, you know, wild with lowing or mooing. You know, they were just going crazy. And then all of a sudden, my head tilted to the right. And as soon as my head tilted to the right and up a little bit, there it was. It was the most fantastic sight I've ever seen in my life, gentlemen. It just totally, I mean, it's something that's really hard to explain. It wasn't your classic saucer or triangle or anything like that. It was more like a ship of light, is the best way to put it.
What colors?
Well, it was bright. It had an incandescent light to it that's really hard to describe. I've never seen anything like it before. It was about 100 feet long. It was ovoid shaped, and the edges of it were undulating. and it had little ovals on the inside of the main oval, if you want to call it that, just little ovals and a gray mist. And another strange thing about it was it had an exhaust trail to it that was like little sparkles, but they weren't coming directly out of the whatever it was. There was about a 50-foot gap between the craft, if you want to call it that, and the little sparkle exhaust trail. Totally silent, of course. It was a quick, brief, but thorough sighting, and I was within about 200 feet of it. Treetop high.
200 feet?
Yeah, within 200 feet. 250, 200 feet. Yeah.
That's like at the end of the yard or something.
Yeah, I mean, it was close, and it, my jaw dropped, and my first thought was to jump in the truck and try to follow it, but then I realized that where it was going was woods, and there were no roads there. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it myself. I even considered, an hallucination for a minute, but I knew I'd seen it. And
what'd you do?
Well, I was in awe, man. I mean, it was like, a paradigm shift.
Then you ran in the house.
And of course, I ran and told her. She didn't believe me. But then guess what happened? The next morning, the news comes on in the big city that was kind of near. It said, "What flew through the skies of such and such county last night?" And apparently the international airport had picked it up just briefly on their radar. And a church group had seen it about, I estimated, I talked to that guy later on, 4 or 5 miles from me. They were the first to see it. And
did you watch it fly off, or did you just run inside?
Well, it just kind of, passed with, it was to the right up in the sky, about treetop height, tall tree. It was just.
Did you watch it till it was out of sight?
Yeah, I mean, I got a full view from the beginning, my head tilted just at that right time to see it, just from the top to bottom to the end, I got a full view of everything, and it was magnificent. Oh God.
Do you think it was there for you?
Look, for years and years, I resisted that temptation to think that, because I thought, I'd be megalomaniacal. What's the word? Megalomaniacal?
Right.
Yeah, I didn't want to be like that. I didn't want to think something that magnificent would come down just for me. But I finally had to realize, put the pieces together and say, well, just maybe.
I think maybe too. Yeah. Break time, Wolfman?
Okay, yeah. I was actually, we have callers coming in, so after the break, we're going to have open lines, if that's all right with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? If that Willie guy calls in, though, he and I are going at it. I just want you to know right now. Kurt, if Kurt's out there, I like Kurt because he likes the party. I could tell, and he's got that southern drawl going, so he's cool with me. Willie, you better bring it if you're calling in. You got to bring it, Willie.
Okay, well, we got a challenge. That's great. Okay. Now, I was looking for song requests, but nobody gave one, so I picked one out, and this is going to be Mike Oldfield and Bonnie Tyler. A song called Islands. I hope you enjoy this. right. Oh, fantastic, baby. Yeah. Mike Oldfield and Bonnie Tyler. How did you guys like that one?
I did not like it at all.
You didn't like that one?
I didn't like it either. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
You throw that in the trash, brother. You're way better than that.
Come on. Why don't you bring it?
Okay. That's hilarious. Oh,
Maybe
well.
Janice liked it.
Yeah, she loved it. She loved it.
Okay. That's what we're here for. We're here to please.
Well, that's right. You can't like all the songs. No one can like all the songs. That's why I play a big variety.
I love that. I love some of that music you were playing with. It. Is it Pasonic? How do you pronounce that word? Pasonic? Pasonic? The guy you had on recently? You know.
Oh, Jethro Tull?
How do you pronounce that word? Pasonic?
What was the song called on Jethro Tull's song?
No, I'm not sure what you mean, Pasonic. Or...
Oh, the fellow, with the energy balls and...
yeah, Psionic.
Yeah, Psionic.
Ah, Psionic, yes. He's got, that's some originals of his I have here.
That's Adam's Shadow, right?
Yeah. I got one that's really good that we're working on. Oh, man, that's a good song, too. I forgot about that one. I'll try to find it, but...
That's right. You're a musician, too, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
if your karaoke Elvis is any indication, you're pretty good.
Yeah, you should play an original later.
Yeah, I could. If I find, maybe I'll play the Pyramid of Love at the end or something.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Okay.
So, Alastar, are you ready for Experience 3?
Sure.
Tell us.
Okay, Experience 3. Okay, where are we?
Boone Cave was the last one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I'll tell you one that. How about one that was a maybe, maybe not. It's a good story. How about one of those?
Okay.
Okay. I was a kid, 13-year-old, and my family would go down to visit an aunt and uncle that owned a motel in Georgia. And across from their motel was this big field. I mean, it went back for miles. There was nothing on it, nothing. And I would go through those fields with a 22 or 20 gauge shotgun, just to stir up rabbits to hunt and think on things, as young boys are wont to do. And one day I was coming back from a hunt and I started feeling kind of strange. And then all of a sudden I noticed to my right this, like, I guess, Civil War looking cabin. I mean, it was like really from another century. And there were these, naked African-American children running around in front of it. And there was this young woman, and she was very attractive. And she was sitting on a log, and she had like a turban wrapped around her head. And she had like, literally a Civil War type or mid 19th century dress on. And it was just, the whole thing was unusual. And she turned as I walked by and smiled at me, and I smiled back at her. And then I kept on going. And just the whole thing was just very strange. I'd never seen, anything like that. And so, the next day or several days later, whatever it was, when I was back in those fields hunting again, I was kind of curious if I could find that place again, but I never saw it. And, so I've always wondered about that,
Every time you tell a story, I think of Wolfman in his stories.
Well, hey, some people have a lot of experiences, and some people have one or two. Some people,
Well, Wolfman, tell them about your 1800s group in the cemetery that you saw.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, it was real quickly, it was a daytime sighting. Haven't talked about this for a while, but we were all hoeing tobacco in a field, and we saw these people walk down the road, and they must have walked about a mile. It's all flat ground. You could see them coming down this gravel road to this little old cemetery in the middle of our field and putting flowers there. And then we realized that they weren't Mennonites. We thought Mennonite clothing, but no, that's 1800s clothing. What the hell are they doing? Some kind of a stage? Yeah. We thought it was some kind of a stage performance group or something. Right. We turned around and kept hoeing, and turned around again, and maybe not even 5 minutes later, they all disappeared.
Wow.
Just poof, gone.
This was experienced by multiple people then.
Yeah, there was 11 people saw it, and they looked live as day, and they couldn't have walked in any direction without us seeing them. They had to. They walked down. They had to walk back, and you can see for miles in every direction. It's like a desert prairie there.
Wow.
So they couldn't have hid anywhere. They couldn't have gone anywhere.
No.
And they just disappeared in thin air.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that the time, I don't know how to put it exactly. You know what I mean though, but like time is I don't know what I'm trying to say. Events of the past sometimes can leak into our present day reality, and we get glimpses of it or something like that.
I don't know. Like they were putting flowers on the graves, and when we went down there was no flowers there.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was
That's kind of confirmation.
No grass disturbed. Nothing was. There was no sign of them being in that little cemetery. There would have been, there's dried up twigs. They would have stepped on those dried up twigs and broke them, and we would have seen. Nobody goes in there much, so. I tracked their area that they were walking. There was no ground disturbance at all.
Wow.
And they just disappeared. And they were waving to us. They were waving to us and everything. So I don't know what you call that. That wasn't like I don't know.
Yeah, I had a lady explain to me one time from Scotland that sometimes the past can leak into our reality, and we can see them, and then they can see us in their time and their reality. It's kind of weird, but
did they see you, Alastar? Did they wave or?
Yeah. The young lady that was sitting on the log watching the kids actually turned and smiled at me. It was a beautiful smile. She was very attractive. She was young. I took her as the children's mother. And the place just looked straight out of Gone with the Wind, man. I'm not kidding you. And this was like, early 70s, something. I'd never seen anything like it. And I'm not saying that was a paranormal event. It was just, it was just nothing in those fields. And there's no roads, no houses, nothing. And I never could come on it again. So, I don't know what to think, but it's just strange.
I like that story.
Yeah. It's one of those, I don't claim it.
Hey, where's Kurt at, by the way? I thought Kurt was going to be on the show tonight.
He's still here. He's just waiting to talk.
Is Kurt there right now? Kurt, are you there? I think he went to get some water, actually. He left a little message on his...
Okay, fair enough. He would fit right in right about now, though, I think.
Man, didn't you say that the people of the town used to see a ghost carriage? With like not a hearse, but like with the funeral procession or something?
A horse-drawn hearse would be seen when you're driving down this road, and it would disappear into vapor when it drove by you. And this was witnessed by several people down the same road.
Where was this?
Right on the same road that little cemetery is on our farm.
No, that's in Virginia?
No, that's in Ontario.
Ontario? Okay.
Yeah, by Lake Erie.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know if you ever heard the Stomp and Tongue song, Tilsonburg. That's about that area. My back still hurts when I hear the word. Tilsonburg.
You mentioned something about a Virginia connection.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that settled there from Virginia, and they taught us how to grow tobacco. It's Virginia-style flue-cured tobacco that they make there.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
What did you say, flue-tiered?
Flue-cured.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
You sweat the tobacco so it feels like it's still on the plant. To the leaves, they feel like they're still on the plant, so they yellow naturally, and then you trap that color by opening the flues, And when you mix cold air and hot air together, it force dries things out.
What's a flue?
It's like dampers on the. A flue is the way that the heat is circulated through the kiln, and the flue has dampers on it. When you open them and you regulate the intake and the output.
Right, like a flue on like a stove or something.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. I didn't even know that. And one side of my family were tobacco farmers. You taught me something. I didn't know that.
He's taught me a lot about tobacco farming. How long did you do that?
I worked in it all my life till I was probably 35, 40 years old.
Wow.
Do you miss it?
Oh, yeah. But there was no money in it anymore.
No. Nope.
Yeah, and A-hole skeptic says a flu is when you don't get your vax and you get sick, and you didn't get your shots and your vaccinations.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody I see that gets the vax gets sick. There's still something there I've noticed. I mean,
Alastar, do you have any more? You have 2 more stories, right?
Well, I got more than that, but we can talk about anything.
Just your stories for now, and then we'll ask you about the best stories you've heard and wrote about.
Okay, and I've heard a lot from credible people. Of course, you have a word for it. Their stories. There was one I wanted to tell you about.
Well, let's go to them then.
Okay, well, here's one real quick. I'm thinking of. A niece got married, and of course the men got banished from the baby shower festivities, right? So we all went to a restaurant, the men did, and I got to meet this really interesting older gentleman, and he'd been in the Army and this and that and all that. Anyway, the main thing was he was he used to, in the 60s, he was with the 101st Airborne Division. He was a pilot.
Okay.
And he was ferrying a bunch of new recruits. I think, it was Alabama. They were over Alabama. And all of a sudden, a UFO, I think he said it was dish-shaped, the classic UFO thing. And, the guys in the back, the new recruits noticed it, and everybody was just freaking out. They were shouting and yelling, They thought there was going to be a collision or something. And so the only thing he could think of to do was just to go low. Go as low to the ground as he could. And he said as he went low in the transport plane, the UFO followed him on the left side. Yeah, the left side. And then eventually it just kind of, took off. But he said those guys in the back, those recruits, were hooting and hollering, scared to death. And the co-pilot with him was so frightened by the experience that he never flew again. And I asked the gentleman, I said, well, did you report it when you got back to base? He said, no, didn't say a word.
Wow.
Yeah, and I said, well, a lot of pilots and military people are coming out now with their stories that they've had to keep secret or to themselves for decades. And he said, oh, I'm thinking about it at the right time. I said, well, now's the time, in my opinion. But, it's just one of the interesting stories you can pick up from people.
Eric, are you there? You still there?
Kurt, are you there?
Have I put everybody to sleep?
No.
I'm here. No, I'm here. I was headed on mute. So
Eric,
Eric, are you there? I got to scramble and grab the phone real quick and unmute.
Eric sent me a video of the Concorde flying and a UFO around it.
Yeah.
That was incredible, Eric. Did you?
It was, wasn't it?
It was.
It's pretty freaky stuff. Well, I didn't really study it. I mean, when I first got on Twitter, I was just obsessed with learning as much as I could about UFOs and aliens. So I spent like weeks just following everybody that had anything to say about UFOs and ETs. And then so now, whenever anybody posts anything, it just pops up on my feed. So I just instantly share it. But there's so much happening. I mean,
yeah, there is.
The bottom line is it's so real, and it's just obviously the fake news people are not talking about it, so we're here to talk about it. But
exactly.
To me, it's 100% reality. Anybody that tries to say we're crazy is just a moron, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, yeah. I mean,
It's their problem, not mine.
Reality, man. Yeah, it's out there now. So
the video on the Concorde, it was they said it was the sunshine off of the camera, which was impossible.
yeah.
I mean, this thing was moving up and down, and it went behind it, and then would move at different speeds. And it was like what was it, 1977, like the first flight of this particular plane?
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
You just triggered a memory, because sometimes I listen to KGRA radio. Race Hobbs. I don't know if you guys heard of Race Hobbs. He's the main guy at KGRA radio. He's got a whole slew of great shows on his network. But he had a guy on a few months ago that was retired from the Navy, and what they would fly around out over the ocean, and his job at the time was to photograph whatever was happening, out on the ocean above where their submarines were, kind of surveillance. And
right.
this guy told stories. He didn't divulge his name, but he told stories about some of the photographs that he took out there, where he actually saw spacecraft and ETs in the spacecraft. Wow. And they actually took the picture, developed them, and took them into Moffett Field. Moffett Field used to be in Mountain View, but now it's so huge that they call Moffett Field has its own town right there in the Mountain View, Sunnyvale, Cupertino, California area. It's Northern California, right in Silicon Valley. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are coming out with disclosure.
Sure.
And it's leaking out. It's not, people think it's just going to happen all of a sudden one day on the newspaper. It's just not going to happen that way. It's just going to it's piece by piece. It's a puzzle. It's just coming together.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it's out, man. I mean, I don't know. Let's just assume Roswell happened. Maybe they should, just should have announced it, at the very beginning, whenever they discovered. Some people say that Roosevelt knew about it with the Foo Fighters. He sent Jimmy Doolittle, the famous Air Force guy, to investigate the Foo Fighters during World War II. And Doolittle came back to Roosevelt and said, "Sir, our estimation is they're interplanetary aircraft, or interplanetary devices." So who knows how long they've known about it? But to keep it from the public, it's just sooner or later, it comes out, and it's just everywhere. So.
Have you heard of William Tompkins yet? Are you familiar with him?
No, I haven't heard of William Tompkins. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you do a Google search on that. He's been coming out. I think he's in his 80s or close to 90 now. So he's divulging stuff that he learned.
Really?
When the Nazis came over, in the 30s and 40s and so on, that technology that we were using, and I can't reveal who the person is, but a friend of mine that I tweet with, her grandfather worked in the same field with William Tompkins in the 40s and 50s. And she tells me, and I'm trusting that she wouldn't make this up, that we have been to the moon. We were at the moon and Mars in the 50s and the 60s.
Wow.
And so she's going to do, when Grandpa dies, they're all sworn to secrecy, the whole family. But when Grandpa dies, they're going to bust out with the story. And so we'll probably hear that story at some point here in the future. But until that time, that's how it is. The family's protected as long as they don't talk.
Right.
Assume if somebody, a lot of these guys, some of these guys that come out with disclosure, I've seen some videos. They're on their deathbed practically.
Yeah.
So they know they don't care anymore. It's like, I'm going to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
And this is what
Can you
it
imagine
is.
having to carry a secret like that all your life? I mean, it's not right.
I couldn't do it. It's torture. That's mind control torture in itself.
Yeah. It's just, the people on this planet have a right to know, and not some false narrative. The people of this planet have a right to know the truth.
Yeah.
But if we do, what do you think it'll be like afterwards?
Well, it depends on who's the one telling us, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll stop there.
Yeah.
Because
maybe it'll be Trump.
Well, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't think it's going to happen in the near future, personally.
Yeah, I think it's already happened because
it's
me
happening.
too.
Exactly. Yeah. It's happening right now.
Yeah, it's happening.
I don't think it's ever going to be an announcement on ABC or CNN. I don't see that happening.
I think the closest thing I keep saying this, the closest thing we're going to get is the ex-defense minister of Canada coming out and saying it. What else? Right. Yeah, Paul Hellyer. What else do you want?
Yeah. He came out. I mean, in a lot of countries have just opened up.
Yeah, and the government of Mexico, they openly admit it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what more do you want? Why do we need it from the American prime minister who lied? I mean, a president that are known for lying to the public. Why do we want to even hear it from that?
Exactly.
I don't even want to hear
the
it
reality
from that.
Yeah, the reality of fake news is really, to me personally, just in the last year, the whole term fake news, and John Rappaport talks about it every Thursday night on Jimmy Church's show, and he's the master of fake news as far as revealing and divulging, but it's out of the bag now. So now it's just a matter of time.
Yeah,
we're just being hoodwinked is really what it boils down to, and people are going to start waking up. And then once they awake, then it's a process. So for me, it was a process. I mean, it took me several months to kind of get my head around it all.
Right, it is a process. I mean, just common sense. You look up there at the university, see all the stars. Oh yeah, we're the only. No way.
Yeah, and we're the only flat planet in the universe too. By the way,
only flat.
We have a flat Earth.
Everything revolves around a flat Earth there. People aren't.
All the other planets around, but Earth is flat. Just want to let
Earth's
everybody
flat.
know that.
Yeah. We might fall off now if we take the ships too far. We'll fall off. No, you're right though, Wolfman. It is out. It is out. I mean, the thing is because of the internet.
I wonder if they're going to tell Trump, or if he's going to have to go to Area 51 himself.
He knows. He knows.
He knows. Yeah, I got a feeling Trump knows a lot more than
Oh yeah, and Trump. Somebody in the chat room, A-hole skeptic, says that it will be revealed that Trump went bald decades ago, and that stuff on his head is his ET brain slug.
Well, that's a very, very clever social justice warrior.
The A-hole skeptic, by the way, he's the best. I even commented in the chat room that he is the best when it comes to sarcasm. Nobody does it better.
Hey, I'm convinced. That's
I try to convince him, but he runs the show most of the time.
And we are due for another break here, so I'm going to put one of these Adam Shadow songs on. Because I think you requested it.
I got an interesting story or two.
All right, we'll come back in, Nate. 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Adam Shadow. This is the Monster Castle original.
Cool show.
How you like me now? Mr. Green. That's Mr. Green.
One source that could have wheels of the sky. Wheels of the sky. There's one tiny wheel of the sky. Period. Ezekiel chapter 1, wheels of the sky.
And nothing else. Nothing. Nothing else. All right. Yeah.
That was impressive. I was impressed with that little run right there, by the way.
Jesus.
Flight 1, Kurt.
Igor, stop.
This evening.
Stop
Are you
that.
there? Captain Kurt, please.
Sorry, I had to get Igor to stop making those noises, man.
Yes, I'm here.
There he is. Yeah, oh, the
It
sultry
feels so
sounds
good
of
to
Kurt.
hear his voice.
Very serious.
Somebody did that to my calling in one night, but I mean, 4,000 years ago, there'd be Ezekiel chapter 1. I saw lights and colored lights and wheels spinning.
That's a very old story.
And they are angels of the Lord. And
I gotta
they
ask Kurt
are
a
the
question. Kurt,
craziest
have you read
creature-looking
anything in the
things in
Bible
all the
other
world.
than Ezekiel chapter 1. That's the only damn part you ever quote.
That's
Spinning
all that's for real.
wheels.
All the
You're
other
confusing me with
Hollywood
spinning
and
wheels.
bug-eyed green monsters and Close Encounters of the Third Time and people dreaming and writing stories and making movies of people going to come down and kill you and eat you up and whatever, drain the cattle of blood. But 4,000 years ago, there were wheels in the sky and they were angels of the Lord. Period. That's the only source. All the others fake. Period.
Everything's fake.
So
yeah.
there.
Hey, Journey wrote a song about Wheel in the Sky. Was that about Ezekiel chapter 1, maybe?
Could have been. Could have been.
It's
Sure
the
could have.
wheel in the sky.
Oh my God, that's gonna
burning.
might have to be the song
connection.
coming up next.
Yeah, there you go. Wheel in the Sky, Journey. That's a bad jam, by the way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, hey Kurt, do you have a question for our guest?
Nah.
What?
Oh.
What?
Somebody asked me.
After all this,
What?
Kurt,
You're on hold
come
for
on.
you were on hold for a half an hour. I thought you had a question for the guest.
I haven't
nice
listened
guy.
long enough to know what you're all talking about.
You've been listening for a half an hour.
But I just
Kurt,
don't have a
come on.
question. I'm sorry.
We cut
Continue
everybody
with your
else off
story,
for
and
you,
maybe
dude.
I'll
What's
have
up?
one come up.
All right.
I'm feeling like an orphan. Kurt,
If
please.
you don't have a question for our guest within the next 5 minutes, you will be electrocuted. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now, where's Igor?
Y'all
hang
great.
out.
Friday
We
night.
want to give Kurt a chance.
You can hang out.
I'd love-
Kurt,
can say
you feel
anything
free to
for us.
hang out. He's
Thank
part of the team, really.
Oh,
So-
easy. Okay. Well, Kurt, hey,
Rest-
ask a question.
Rest
I mean.
in peace, Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher. I just have to say
Oh,
that.
yeah.
My Lord. Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, what do y'all think about that Steve Martin tweet that got attacked so bad? You know,
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Tell us about that. I didn't hear about this.
Go ahead.
All he said was she was beautiful, and she was a stunningly beautiful creature.
Yeah.
And that's what his first impression of her was, which was the first impression that all guys had that were young
Right.
at the time.
Creature.
And then he said
Yeah,
that,
creature
and she
was the
also
word
witty
that got
and
it.
intelligent as he got to know her.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
It got jumped on by thousands of feminazis and stuff.
I've got a
Oh.
true Carrie Fisher
Well,
story
sorry
I can tell you
for
guys, by the way.
You know, it's ridiculous.
I met her mom.
I
Really?
met Carrie Fisher in the 80s.
You did?
Wow.
I swear to God I did. I could tell you I'll tell you a quick, I'll make it quick because it's Kurt's time right now, but let me just say this. It was in San Francisco, California. There was this guy named Stuart Emery who did this workshop that was called Actualizations. And it was a workshop that was 3 days long, and it was basically you go there and you basically get the shit out of your life. You're going to learn how to take action to make your life real through action instead of thought.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to be that Carrie Fisher was there with either her handler, her manager, whoever the guy was, and she was going through a rough time. This was, I think it was right after Star Wars was released. And many of you may already know that she did dabble in the cocaina.
Rough.
She had a cocaina problem.
Oh, yeah.
Part of her therapy was to go to this workshop, this actualization workshop, to get in touch with her real self. So she was in the audience and she participated in the workshop, and it was pretty amazing because she didn't socialize with anybody. But anyway, that's my quick Carrie Fisher story.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Can you believe her mother passed away a day after she did?
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
No, I think she died of a heartache. It's terrible, man. I think she died of a heartache.
Yeah.
Everybody says that she died of a heartache, but like today, what's the son's name? Tony Fisher?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said, nah, she didn't die of a heartache. I saw her there. She just wanted to take care of her daughter. She did not have a heartache or a heartbreak. Sure, but her last words, I want to be with Carrie Fisher, but he stated that, nah, she didn't die of a heartbreak. There was no heartbreak. She just had to go take care of her daughter. But that's what the son said today.
84 years old.
I don't know. I don't know what to make of that, but Hollywood's a strange place, I can tell you that.
Oh, boy.
Have you seen La La Land?
No.
You have to go see it.
What's
Super
it about?
good. It's a musical about hopes and dreams in Hollywood. And it's just a really good musical. It's great music. I think it'll win for Best Picture.
Really? So it's a new film?
Yeah.
La La Land. Okay.
Oh, I have to go see it.
Oh, so good.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
it's neat because most musicals are the musical part, when they start singing is like part of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, the musical part is like dream sequences. I think it's genius.
Well, I hope so. I mean, Hollywood needs some original stuff.
It's perfect for our times.
So, Kurt, did you hear about the fairy creatures that they captured on camera? I showed you a picture of it yesterday.
No, I don't remember.
I showed you a picture last night of the fairy creature.
I'm not making light of it, but it's sort of like a shape-shifting Casper. Man, I'm being serious.
That one that looked like that little old splash of white.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
That just looked like, if you look to the left though, it looks similar to that and might have been I just know in this great universe we have everything perfect, planets lined up, perfect balls. You blow bubbles, you can blow bubbles like my Lord does planets. I don't think that there would be just a splash of white representing something extraterrestrial that look almost like what's over to the left. I think that was an image wrong or irregular. Nah, my Lord, not going to just make a
photography expert? Photography expert? Are you a photography expert?
Nah, but I'm a Lord expert.
Okay.
Well, then that's the final word.
Anyways, I seen them before myself, so.
Yeah, there you go.
And first when I looked at it, to tell you the truth, I thought that may be Photoshop.
Nope.
But when I keep looking at it, it's not Photoshop. There's too many irregularities in there, and it's not a glare. It is not a glare.
Nope.
So
it's not light glare. I've actually worked with a photographer, and I do know a lot about Photoshop and photography. So
you're a wise man, Wolfman.
It can't be. It can't be
Whatever
camera glare. It is impossible. And
whatever it was, what it was is what it was. I don't know.
Yeah,
what it was.
I can't explain that one. The more I looked at it, I realized that is a and you know what? You're not the only one that's captured a picture of these things.
Yeah, I'd really like to see some other ones that are similar.
There is other similar ones on YouTube. I'm not kidding.
I tried to look. I couldn't find anything.
Geez, I've seen one years ago, and it was flying through the sky. And when they stopped it, slowed it down. It looked like that thing you have captured.
Wow, I would really like to see that. I'm gonna have to look for it. Yeah, I did. I did a pretty good search engine, but I didn't see anything like that anywhere. I'd love to. YouTube and all that, but I did see one that apparently had been caught by trail cam. It looked more like a female figure, like from ancient Greece or something. I don't know. It looked kind of real, but that's as close as I could come. So, I don't know what that was, but it was not a camera glitch or anything with a digital camera. It wasn't photoshopped. It was nothing like that. I don't even know how to do that stuff. So,
Yeah.
Are you guys talking about Bigfoot right now?
Yeah, sure.
No.
Sure.
Oh, we got Bigfoot too?
Oh, hell yeah. Excuse me.
What?
Yeah.
Well, he goes out to the woods, so you never know.
I haven't seen a Bigfoot, but I can tell you a story about it, though. Yeah.
Oh, tell us.
Well,
okay.
Bigfoots are being reported all across America, right?
Yeah.
Not just the Northwest. And there's supposed to be some up here in the Appalachian Mountains down here in the South. Maybe up north, too. I don't know. But a guy wrote a book, and he claims that he made kind of friends with them over 20 years. They scared him at first and all this and everything else. And he wrote a pretty good book, and he seemed genuine. He had a little bit of evidence with pictures and stuff. And he had a trail cam video that was very convincing. It showed like a whole bunch of orbs with trails going down it, which is very mysterious. And this guy lives close to the mysterious Brown Mountain, too, by the way. But he's a little bit shy. And anyway, this fella at the big library here wanted to put on a, where he would come speak to a lot of people that from the mountains that had seen the Bigfoots up there. And they had a pretty good crowd of about 40 people.
Uh-oh. Somebody tripped over their cooler of beer.
The guy didn't show up.
What the hell's going on in here?
So, what can you say? Maybe they're up there, maybe they're not. He did say that one time a bunch of hunters came up there and wanted to kill it.
I think a Bigfoot just stole somebody's cooler.
Yeah, well, what they did is the Bigfoot circled back around and destroyed their camp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, while they were up there hunting to shoot one, they kind of snuck around. And the ones up in
that's great.
They're supposed to have like raccoon eyes.
What?
Yeah. The raccoons have circles or something around their eyes. You know how a raccoon looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Bigfoots up in these parts are supposed to have those kind of rings around their eyes.
Yeah, I've heard about that. They got raccoon markings around their eyes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Similar to a raccoon. The black.
You know what? I never ever suspected that Bigfoot would be up there until I started hearing people's stories and there's some very serious, believable people that say they've seen them, and so I wonder. Make sure.
Yeah. Dave Scott's seen one twice, hasn't he? Have you ever heard his show, Spaced Out Radio?
I haven't.
Yeah, he's got great stories.
Yeah.
What in all the stories you wrote when you were writing?
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite? What is the one that you go, this is real, and this is amazing?
Okay. Well, I even say in the beginning, it's the one at the Boone's Cave.
Yours.
Yeah, the Boone's. Well, yeah. If you're talking about stories I've written, it's the Boone Cave story. Yeah, absolutely.
What about? Did you write stories from other people that would share their experiences too? Or?
Yeah, I've had guest writers. Some of them best-selling authors. They've contributed to the site too.
What's your favorite story that wasn't yours?
That's a good question. Let me see. Let me look at something here. Let's see. Like I told you, I'm friends with the Queen of the Wiccans in Tennessee.
He's digging into the tickle trunk.
Oh,
Yeah.
digging into the.
Look through these there. I don't know if I can say I have a favorite. There's just a lot of them on different subjects and stuff.
What else you got in there?
Yeah.
Swords, crystals.
Somebody want to talk about Brown Mountain?
Oh yeah, that's what we want to hear about, Brown Mountain. That was the first question that Eric had.
Right, he did. They finally got scientific proof of them in July.
You're kidding.
From the beginning. Eric, do you know about this story?
I don't, but I just was thinking, I mean...
I know a lot about it.
I think it was 2 nights ago, I was listening to Heather's show on with our Bell's old show, and she had it was a repeat show, but she had some guy on that was talking about Bigfoot. Did you hear that show, Wolf, from a few nights ago?
Probably not.
No.
I'm too busy with my own show.
I just want to tell you one story that guy told that just totally stuck in my brain. That there was I forget where it was exactly, but anyway, the guy was out there hiking, and he had his black lab with him, and he had a pit bull with him, and they were sitting down over in some little area, and then all of a sudden, the Bigfoot came out of the trees, the shrubs or the trees or wherever he came from, out of nowhere, and literally snatched this black lab with just one fell swoop, just snatched the lab and ran up the side of the mountain. And the guy said it took him like 4 seconds to get up the side of the mountain. And he just, the dog was gone. He was gone. The guy was in shock. And so he went home with his other dog and took his dog and put him away, and then went back up the mountain to try to find his dog.
Wow.
And he couldn't find his dog, but that guy was on Heather's show, and he was telling some amazing Bigfoot stories that you just don't hear.
That's not Bigfoot.
I believe Bigfoot's real. I think he's an extra.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That is not Bigfoot. Bigfoot does not snatch dogs. That was a wolf man. That's what I think. I don't know.
They did.
Maybe it was. You might be right. It might have been like a Nephilim hybrid wolf man.
They hate dogs. They hate dogs because dogs can sniff them out.
Oh, that's right. They're always fighting with the dog. You know what? That's what the Res Squatch team told us too. They said they're always fighting with the dogs. No shit.
Yeah. They hate dogs.
Because dogs got better senses than we do, and they can detect them, better than we can. So they look at dogs as kind of enemies. But this guy I was telling you that made friends, they kept killing his dogs, but he finally kind of asked them in some way, I don't know how, but please stop killing my dogs, and they did. They stopped. Yeah.
No, is this the Brown Mountain story?
Yeah, well, this guy lived near Brown Mountain. That supposedly made friends over 20 years. He owned a lot of property in the forest there, so over 20 years he kind of made friends with them by leaving them food and stuff like that, and then they would leave him something back like a frog with its leg tore off on a rock as return, and it's kind of believable, to be honest about it. But he was talking about at first they would kill all his dogs because they hated them because they could sniff them out or see them better or something. And then he finally somehow asked them, please stop killing my dogs, and they did. They stopped.
Awesome.
What about that one lady that I think she was either on Heather's show or Jimmy Church's show that she used to bake pies and put them on her back windowsills. True story. And put them on her back windowsill for the Bigfoot. The Bigfoot wanted to eat the pies.
Wow.
I remember that was Art Bell.
Yeah, that was a great show. That old lady, I totally believed her. Because there's no way she was an actress because she was just too good. Her stories were too good.
What's her name again? Evelyn?
Evelyn, that's her name. Evelyn. Good call, Rolf. Good call.
Yeah, I'd like to get her on as a guest. So if anybody knows how to contact her, I've been trying to get her on.
I'll tell you what. I will donate $200 to the Wolfman Show as a finder's fee if anybody could find her and get her on the show. I'm committing it right here live on Wolfman Jack.
All right. So we got a posse. I mean, we got a bounty on her ass.
Yeah, bounty. A $200 bounty.
We got a bounty out on Evelyn.
The pie baking.
We got a bounty on Evelyn's ass. All right. All right. Get her on.
Hey guys, here's something about Brown Mountain real quick. Listen to
The
this.
wolf pack is on the hunt.
Hold on.
Listen to this. 1920. This is a paper from the 1920 paper. 1920, North Carolina. Reports of brilliant spheres or discs appearing from time to time, moving in leisurely formation or singly in the neighborhood of the Brown Mountains. Much talk. Official investigation draws blank. 1920. Yeah.
Oh, we are corrected here. It's Elaine.
Yeah.
Elaine. Okay, cool.
Ooh, maybe somebody knows her.
Well, was that Art Bell? Was that when Art Bell was still doing it? Or was it Heather was doing it? I can't remember.
It was Art Bell.
Yeah, it's Art.
Yeah. Well, if you go through Heather, you know what? We've got a connection with Heather now because Adam Ambrose did her show.
Yeah.
He did her show because of me. Did you know
Did
that?
you really? Right on.
Yeah.
Well, then you got
Darren was the one who led him in that direction. That's true.
Yeah. Darren, you got the $200 finder fee in your back pocket. You just need to pull some strings.
I'll collect it at the UFO Congress.
There you go. I'll have it in cash, bro. 2 fresh, crispy 100s.
Nobody's given me a song request, and we're 5 minutes away. We need a song. Who's going to give me one?
Can you play something funky? Maybe something from Parliament Funkadelic or something
Wheels
crazy.
In the Sky.
Man,
Wheel in the Sky.
That's right. It was Wheels in the Sky first. It was a song.
Journey.
That's right. Okay, I'll find that one. But let's ask the guest some more questions while he's here, guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to tell you guys about the scientific proof real quick.
I want to hear more about the Brown Mountain Lights.
Yeah,
I do too. Also,
yeah, they call it scientific proof in July. I can tell you about that.
Yeah.
You want to hear?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 2 scientists from Appalachian State University. They set up time-lapse cameras, 2 of them, for 5 years. Didn't catch anything really important, but in July they did. And they actually caught the lights on that scientifically. So now it's confirmed, man. Scientifically, Brown Mountain Lights are real. So
They were first spotted in the 20s.
yeah, well, they've been hundreds of years. Reported.
I've seen video. I saw a show where they showed video, and then there's no way they could debunk that. It's just impossible.
No. That whole place. No, it's impossible. You're right. And the whole ridge it's really a ridge. It's made out of granite with a lot of piezo crystals in it. You know,
they're harvesting that out is what they're doing. I mean, we know that. Oh yeah, they're using it as for fuel for their spaceships, probably.
Could be. But then again,
somehow they turn it into fuel, or they're using it for something important. Obviously,
that's possible. But it also could be like an interdimensional portal or something. You know, I don't know.
That's true too. Or it could be both.
Like Star Trek.
Could be both. Yeah. But whatever it is, it's
it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And the reality is most of them, they don't bother anybody. It's just the reptilian breed. There's different ones, but they seem to be the ones that be messing with people. And some of the grays aren't very cool.
Well, yeah. Well, what's the bad ones that David Icke talks about? The draconian.
Yeah, the Dracos. Yeah.
Yeah, Dracos. Yeah. I don't know about that, man. Who knows? Could be. Yeah. Could. Yeah. When I was a kid, everybody hated snakes. And I wondered why. So I started studying them, and found out they were really beautiful creatures. So when reptilians get brought into, this bad guys, I always think twice.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because there's a guy in Canada, a young guy. His name's Jason Quitt. Actually, Wolfman, if you can get Jason Quitt, I could maybe help you get him on your show.
But I
asked him on the Jimmy Church show. I asked him straight out. I said, I've heard that they're not all reptilian races are bad.
What's his last name?
Multiple reptilian races.
Exactly, yeah.
What was the last name of this
Jason
guy?
Quitt. Like I quit my job, quit.
Wow.
It's I'll send you the link. It's
okay.
But John Polk and I have got a good connection with him, and I'll hook you up. He's a good guy. He's in Canada.
Awesome.
Too. Super. He is a time traveler.
Wow.
And he does it all. It's all psychic. He doesn't leave his body. I mean, he's in his physical body on his bed, but somehow psychically he travels, and he's being given information, and the information that he shares is so profound that you just can't be that creative and make it up. Basically,
wow.
It's
interesting.
Just
so
Jason Quitt,
Alastar,
yes, sir.
What is the strangest thing that's ever happened to you? I want to get the answer to that.
Okay.
When we come back, I'm not sure what the heck's going on here. I hope this isn't.
I've got one last of no doubt about it. It was the scariest one of all.
Okay, one more.
Yeah, one more.
Okay.
We'll save that for after the break.
Okay.
Oh man, do I got to sing this? Holy
no
shit!
way.
I didn't mean to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
We want to hear you.
I got to sing Wheels in the Sky.
Winter here again, oh Lord. Haven't been home for a year or more. I hope she'll hold on a little longer. Sent a letter, long summer day, made of silver, not of clay. Oh, I've been running down this dusty road. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I've been trying to make it home. I gotta make it for too long. I can't take this very much longer. I'm standing, sleet and rain. Don't think I'll ever make it home again. The morning sun, rising kisses, yeah, yeah. And the wheels in the sky keep on turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Wheels in the sky keep on turning. Whoa, 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 whoa. My, for tomorrow.
That was fantastic, Wolf. Fantastic.
Was it? I just had to do it because I didn't realize I put it on karaoke, so I thought, oh, well, fuck, I'll just sing it then.
Steve Perry is not in your wheelhouse.
Dude, you know, that song, I'm going to tell you right now.
It's above my range.
Why I love you, because you have no fear. You are that crazy.
Yeah.
It's above your range.
It's above my range, but I did it anyway, you know.
You are a plethora of insanity.
Yep.
That's why they call me the Wolf Man. Yeah, all right.
Hey, can I just say one thing? Wolf, I know you remember Chuck Barris and the Gong Show, right?
Yeah, but first, before you do that, can you do me one favor?
I'll shut up.
Oh, no. Just jump up and down, and I'll make this. Jump up and down, and I'll make the sound effect.
Okay, here I go. I'm jumping. Oh,
Yeah, everyone thought you were a rabbit for a minute there. It's not a rabbit. It's Eric, the protector.
Eric,
the protector.
And I'm silly.
No,
Go
Tiffany sent me a message. Says she sent you a song. I just want to check if you
Yeah,
got it.
I've got it here.
The show.
I do got it, and it's
Right on.
something I've
People
never
play
heard
this-
of. So
and this
thank
show
you,
will play
Tiff.
on the XXX show after.
Oh, okay. But anyways, let's go to that story. Where were we?
the last
Black Mountain.
story.
The Black Mountain.
Oh yeah.
No.
Black Mountain.
Brown Mountain.
Alice's
Brown Mountain. My
last
bad.
story.
My bad.
That's all right. That's
There's
all
a
right.
Black Mountain
Story
too. I'm
is
sure we
clear.
just don't know about it yet.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can tell you one more thing about Brown Mountain. It's the first story I ever wrote on paranormal. I took a visit up there. We did, and got a picture of me looking at the mountain, and the rocks right behind me shape up just at an angle that looks just like the Easter Island head. What do you call them? Statues. You know, those heads on Easter Island.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was really a weird picture. I mean,
Like the pointy.
yeah. It's on the web, on the Myst and Moonlight blog page. It's the first one down at the bottom of the scroll down. But there was a picture that was taken. I mean, it looks just like it. And then there's a rock to the left that has an occult sign on it. And then all the granite outcroppings on Brown Mountain have occult signs on them. Somebody's painted occult symbols on them. It's really weird. Yeah, it's pretty strange. That's a weird place, man.
Oh,
And we
Well,
drove up
The
close.
cult is I think they're more or less controlling our 3D plane for the most part, but we're not done. We're not done battling them yet, though.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Eric, you need to protect us.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm just spreading the word.
Yeah, I mean,
One howl at a time.
you know. Anyway,
What's the last story?
okay, this
Sorry,
this one, you know, people are probably going to say, "Oh, you had a vivid dream," or you know, something like that. But it wasn't. It wasn't a vivid dream. It was a real. I laid down one day, in that 30-year, 30-year-old period, and I wasn't even asleep really. And all of a sudden, this image came into my mind or my consciousness of just the most horrific, devilish, demonic face you could ever imagine. I mean, it was so detailed, and there was audio to it. It looked like it was trying to push its face through a undulating veil, and I could hear the whoosh every time it would try to break through, and I was instantly terrified. Okay, I mean, it was just never experienced anything like that in a dream or anything before or since, and this was 30 years, 25 years ago. And I'm not a religious person. I mean, I'm a spiritual person, but not religious, mainstream religion. But the only thing I could think of was say, help me, Jesus, over and over and over again, because I had to call on somebody for help. And it eventually kind of faded and went away. But the experience was so real. And then I saw a documentary on Netflix called Nightmares. Don't know if you've seen that, but it's worth checking out. And the documentary interviewed about 6 or 7 people that kind of had similar stuff, some with shadow people and that kind of stuff. But one of them was almost exactly what I had experienced. I said, my God, there's another person that experienced that, almost that same thing.
What did it look like exactly?
The most evil, devilish looking visage you can imagine. But what was the most intense thing about it was the overpowering feel of evil. I mean, it was just pure evil. It just permeated my whole, down into my subconscious, I guess. I mean,
it's like it happened yesterday for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's unforgettable. You never forget it.
Was your fear on like a scale of 1 to 10? Was it at a 10 at that moment? Do you think?
It couldn't have been any worse. It was absolutely.
Yeah, they were generating major loosh right there. That's what it sounds like.
Absolutely. I mean, it was just, I don't know what it was. I don't know what the reason for it to happen was, but it was nice to know that other people have experienced things like that too. And but what it taught me a lesson, and the lesson was that there is pure evil in creation, but there also has to be a greater love. The opposites. So yes,
interesting.
There is great evil, but there's there's a greater love. But that's what I got from.
What's that saying? Love conquers all. So,
okay.
That's what we're trying to raise the vibration. The love vibration is going to elevate in the very near future. I think it's already elevating.
Well, I think you're right.
Tiffany in the chat room saying that they ruin the sacred energy when they take the Easter Island heads to England.
Are you kidding me? They're really going to do that? No.
They did. They have taken. They did. They removed some of the heads from the island. I know they did. They took the main one.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and they totally destroyed the sacred energy of that place. And I actually agree with her.
Yeah, Janice said that was sacrilegious.
Yeah.
No.
I want to go there so bad.
Yeah.
Where is that located? Where country is that in again?
Easter Island is not in
it's off South America.
It is a country. It's out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
I'm assuming you could take a cruise and go there. I'm guessing.
No, not really. It's one of the most remote islands in the world. Really.
It's hard.
So you can't even, as a tourist, pay somebody $5,000 and go there. It doesn't work that way.
Dude, it's a speck. It's a little speck in the middle of a vast universe of ocean. It's right in the middle of the Pacific in a tiny little island.
Only
crazy,
Pitcairn Island is more remote.
Yeah, Pitcairn.
In the middle of the ocean.
Right. Yeah, it's very remote.
It's crazy.
I don't think I want to venture out to these islands till I get closer to the end of my time. I still got a lot of living left to do. Not quite ready to go there
if
yet.
the ocean levels rose up just a little bit, that place would be gone.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of places.
They said that at one time they figured, I think it was like 3,000 or 4,000 people live there.
Yeah.
Which is amazing for how small it is, really.
Actually, I think it sticks up pretty good high above the ocean. That Easter, if I'm not mistaken, it's like a big mountain that comes out of the ocean, pretty much.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
aren't they all volcanoes or something?
Yeah.
Hey, Tiffany, maybe Tiffany can channel. Who brought the stones there?
Yeah, that'd be great to know that.
Yeah,
maybe
she'll find out.
That.
She'll probably
or were they correct?
In about 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, something like that.
She knows everything.
I think she could channel that. Let's ask Tiffany if you wouldn't mind, honey. Could you try to channel that for us and find out where those stones come from? Who put them there?
I think they
know. I'm going to ask my spirit guide too and see if he answers me.
Yeah.
Everybody who can talk to their spirit guide, ask your spirit guide right now. Who put those stones there on Easter Island?
I'm not getting anything yet.
Kurt will come through.
Kurt, are you hearing anything from yours? Is your Lord telling you?
Ezekiel chapter 1.
Now?
Earth to Ezekiel.
How did the stones get on Easter Island?
I don't know nothing about Ezekiel. Was there a chapter 2 also, or was it just a chapter 1 only?
I think it's.
You know where they came from.
Are you talking about like the stones, like the pyramid? Who did that?
No, Easter Island. Easter
Island, the heads.
Where is that?
It's in the middle of the Pacific. Oh, you may not know where that is. You never
it's
seen
not just the heads. They've uncovered the bodies. They're buried.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're full statues.
They're massive. They're
the shape
of
as a
Nephilim.
certain kind of
absolutely.
These are Nephilim hybrid gods, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
They're like stones of like gods or what have you, or what?
Yes, the Nephilim.
I don't know, but
massive.
Tiffany,
they came down and had sex with
I gotta
type women.
What are the Nephilim exactly supposed to be? I've never been clear on that.
Kurt will tell us.
Yeah.
I was going to say though that in Japan, did you remember where they unburied, like all those perfect
Yeah.
statues.
Soldiers.
My
Yes.
goodness. There's like thousands of years of crap that we don't know about. My God, they're
Didn't
in
he?
perfect that they couldn't make those so perfect, and they uncovered under a bunch of sand. So
Yeah.
statues here, statues there. It just
Hey, with those Chinese guys, didn't every single soldier have a different face? Is that?
Yes. Yes.
It was so
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yes.
perfect too.
Yes.
Okay, we have an answer, guys.
All right.
A-hole
Whoa.
skeptic, I believe, has figured it out.
Good.
Whoa. The
Yeah.
a-hole.
Yep.
Good. A-hole.
He says, does the Easter Bunny have anything to do with it?
The Easter Bunny. Yeah.
He did not. I'm looking right now. Where did he say that? I don't see it anywhere.
Well, it makes kind of sense. Easter Island, Easter Bunny.
Yeah. So I think he might be onto something.
He might be. Right.
But
Well,
what I
Wolfman,
always
you
like
told
to
me
do,
you'd seen a
just real
rabbit,
quick,
so
I would have guessed the Nephilim.
Yeah.
Nephilim.
I've never been able to understand exactly what the Nephilim are.
Kurt,
I
can you
think they were
tell me-
Anunnaki descent. If I'm
Yeah,
not
they're
mistaken.
half Anunnaki, half human.
Yeah, they were huge. They were
Yeah.
massive, more human-looking, more human-like than maybe most extraterrestrial beings. But I would say they're like a hybrid, like a massive human hybrid that imagine like a 12, 14 foot tall being. I mean, think about it now. I mean, we've got 7 foot, 8 foot, African Americans playing professional basketball.
Yeah.
And there's a few white guys too, but I mean, those are probably have the Nephilim gene genetics in their bloodline. I'm guessing.
Could be. Have you seen that picture of that giant footprint in South Africa with the rock?
Oh, I have. That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
That is incredible. So
That
we only
is.
have a few more minutes, though, Alastar and Janice.
Yeah.
So I
We
want
have
you
15
guys.
minutes.
Well, yeah, but that goes really quick when you're telling a story. So if you want to tell any more your favorite story, we got or to advertise your website or wherever you want to. I know you
told
don't
you
really.
I'm not in it for the money.
Yeah.
I'm not in it for the money.
Well, you know what? Go ahead anyway, just in case.
Yeah,
somebody
tell
wants
us your
to
website.
If somebody wants to get a hold
we
of you,
want to know. We want to research you.
Yeah, because I do have a book I wrote. All the proceeds go to charity. It's for the wounded veterans, homeless veterans, and canine dogs that don't have a home. And we put them together with wounded veterans. So all the proceeds go from that book. Don't make a dime, but I'm glad to do it. And then I've got a few other people. I'm very selective on who put on the bookshop. It's mostly people I know. But
Hey, just so you know, it's okay to make a dime, though, bro.
No. There's no problem. Everybody's got their own thing. And one day I might have to put a Patreon on there. I don't know. I'm not a rich. I don't know. But it's just right now, because this way, at least the skeptics can't say, "Oh, you're doing this for money," with the pictures and everything. That's it's.
The skeptics, they're
money.
brainwashed with the fear porn. Just ignore those people. They don't even know what they're doing. They have no clue anyway.
You're right.
I mean, just ignore them. Seriously. I mean, they're just there to distract you from your purpose. Just like an ant that crawls on you when you least expect it. Just
well
push them
said,
off.
Eric.
Move on.
Well said, indeed. I agree 100%.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay, I got one. I got a good one for you guys. Have y'all ever heard of the Devil's Tramping Ground?
No.
Okay, it's a cool story. It's a very cool story. When the pioneers came to North Carolina, about in the middle, they discovered this 40-foot diameter circle that nothing would grow on. Okay, I mean absolutely nothing. And it's it's just a perfect circle, 40 foot in diameter, and they put it in a religious perspective, and they said that's where the devil walked around nights thinking up evil things for mankind. That's where it got the name Devil's Tramping Ground. But of course, as we advanced and scientists started looking at it, they found the problem was there was a huge sodium chloride or salt content in the circle. That was
crap.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's this thing. Oh, well. Okay, just when you said salt, I am looking down at this, and I'm reading a word, and guess what the word is?
Salt.
Salt. That's
man.
Yeah, man.
Synchronicity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly when you said it, I looked down and was reading that word.
Boom.
Oh man.
Wolfrenicity.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. But yeah, I mean, so the thinking now, is it possibly somewhere far in the past, some disc-shaped UFO, whatever you want to call it, landed there for whatever reason, and just whatever, put off radiation or whatever, just so turn the ground into salt. But we discovered that wiregrass, which is the toughest plant in the forest up here in those parts, is finally starting to sprout up in little spots there.
Have you been there?
Yeah, we went there personally, took pictures, and and I talked to locals, and it's a lonely spot. It's down the road.
Dare each other spend the night there.
Yeah, and over the years, people have camped out there to scare each other and all that stuff. But there's a legend that if you put something in the circle, it gets thrown out back, or in the diameter thing, it gets thrown back out the next day.
Or disappears.
Yeah. What I discovered though is there just all these massive trails. It's a heavily forested area. And there are all these trails leading off from this, like small trails, big trails, overgrown trails. I mean, yeah, out in the middle of nowhere. I've never seen anything quite like it, so I don't know what's going on with that, but that's pretty interesting.
Wow. Where is it exactly? I want to go there.
Oh, well, it's pretty cool. It's in Chatham County, North Carolina. It's about in the central part of the state.
Wow.
Hey, I'm just a thought came into my mind. Have you ever thought, you and your wife being like tour guides, having like a little, you have people sign up ahead of time and you take them on a little tour of these places and tell the stories, and I mean you're entitled to make a living, and this is information that's important.
Yeah, I know, but
you don't want to do that.
You gotta have money to do that. I'm not a rich man, so. I'm just, I get by, and that's about it.
I'm hoping to have $200 soon.
Well, that would be nice. Yeah, that'd be nice.
I'll be happy to hand it over.
Yeah, when I was a young man, I always thought, like most of us do, oh, well, it's going to be great to be rich or famous or whatever, or be in a rock band. We all have these fantasies. But I finally came to the conclusion, you don't have to be all that to be happy.
No.
As long as you just got the basics. And
it's got me.
Got a good mate.
You just need a loving, honest woman, and you're good to go.
She is. She's one.
That's all you need. That's all any man needs.
Hey, and I did have a psychic impression of Wolfman's Sandra.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Yeah, I did. She's a really nice lady, and that she's really got a beautiful spirit and very attractive.
Yeah, she is. It's perfect.
Am I on target there? Or?
Yeah, you are, man. That's perfect.
Oh, good, cool. I thought so.
Yeah. Awesome. You know what? I just read back in the chat room, and A-hole skeptic, he's cracking me up. When I was singing karaoke there, the Steve Perry, he said if I had a cat, it would be hiding under the bed right now.
Good Lord.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I think he might have gave Alastar singing lessons.
Yeah, maybe. No, well, we don't want to scare cats. We got two here, feral cats that some no good let loose on the neighborhood. We took them in.
I'm looking for.
And then Janice here found her a 3-legged dog a couple of months ago, so we got that one now too.
Oh,
but
damn! I can't find Willie's request. He put one in there. Now I can't find it back. I have one from. I have the request from Tiffany though, and this sounds like a really cool song.
Right.
So, what I'm gonna end with, but we got 7 minutes still.
Okay.
So whatever you guys want to.
I want to ask him about his 3-legged dog.
Hey, look, I'm gonna give you the expert. Let Janice tell you about it.
Okay.
I got a 3-headed chicken, and it,
really?
Yeah, and a 3-eyed billy goat, 3 eyes.
Well, we had a dog that lived about 16 years, and she passed away, so we decided we were not going to have animals for a while.
Yeah.
And the first cat adopted Alastar, and then another cat adopted him while I was in Florida. So I decided that I wanted a dog. And I checked the ads in the papers and just couldn't find the dog. And I went to PetSmart, where they have the little thing where they bring all the dogs in and you can adopt them. And I picked up a couple really cute dogs, but I held them close. I just didn't have that bond like I felt like I should have with them. So I said, well, I don't have to get one today. So finally, I went to the Humane Society, and I looked at all the dogs in the cages, and nothing was really hitting me, So the lady that works there showed me some little Chihuahua puppies, and I'm like, no, that's not it either. So I was getting ready to leave, and she says, oh, I got one more dog. So she comes out with this little cute dog bundled up in her arms. She's part Yorkie and part Terrier. She's kind of a champagne color. Well, the dog just immediately jumped in my arms. Oh. And I knew the minute that she did that we bonded. I mean, that was it. That was the dog. Well, I sat down with her, and then I noticed that she had a leg missing. Her back right leg was missing. And there were staples there. And kind of found out she had just had surgery on Monday. They had to amputate the leg because it was injured too badly to save. So this was Friday, and I couldn't help it. I had to take her, but I went out to the car first and told my husband that I'd found a dog. And he said, you did? And I started crying. I said, yes, but she's only got 3 legs. And he said, well, do you love her? And I said, yeah. He said, well, bring her home. We'll give her a good home. So that's the story of how Katie come about.
Oh.
The next week to get her stitches out, and she's been great.
Do 3-legged dogs count as paranormal?
It did tonight.
Aw. Well, thank you for letting me share that story.
Oh. How old is she now?
She's 2.
Oh, just a puppy.
Yeah, I get her little dresses that have ruffles around them, harness dresses. And the first one I put on her before I named her, I told her she looked like Katy Perry, and with that little dress on. So that ended up being her name, but we call her Katie. So.
We can learn a lot from dogs.
Oh, yeah. Sure. She's full of love.
Yep. The meaning of life.
Oh, man.
Loving and sharing love.
Exactly.
Now I just noticed Moog Boy wanted a request too, and we got 3 minutes left. So, but I already got one lined up for Tiffany, and I'm not sure if I'll read back on the chat and see if she's come up with an answer to that question yet. But
yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I hope so. Find it.
We will find out.
Okay.
I'm actually
my spirit guides are telling me it was the Anunnaki. Anyway, that's
Anunnakis.
Yep.
Aren't they on Planet X or whatever that is?
They may be there. They're somewhere else, but they left the planet.
They've migrated.
They have
all
left
over the planet, all over the universe.
Well, they're interbred with us. They're still here.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean they've been to Orion, the Pleiades, star system.
Do they look like that?
They just keep.
Yeah, they do now. I believe the DNA has interbred with mankind, and they're part of us now.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
Agglomeration of atoms.
So they're here. We are them.
The show tonight has some Anunnaki DNA. Personally, that's why we're all brothers.
It's not even fully present in this form.
And it's in the genetic spiritual realm.
And in thinking, do you not think of places?
Yeah, good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Which you think are.
Are we doing the XXX show next?
Oh yeah.
If you want to.
Yeah, we're gonna sign XXX coming on next.
Okay, all right, we'll do the XXX late night show coming up next.
Thank you guys, y'all are great.
And thank you, you guys were awesome.
North Carolina rock.
Thank
you,
you.
Alistair. Thank you, Janice.
It's been
You guys
wonderful.
can come back anytime you want
Come
to
and
the
check
Monster
Come and
Castle.
check in again sometime.
We will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right on. Have a good night.
Y'all too.
Yeah. And thanks everyone for listening.
Go Beckley Teppy.
Yeah. Easter Islands to everybody.
All of
Easter
it.
Islands.
Plethora.
From the island where the palm trees and big, huge statues grow. Yeah, Easter Islands.
Are you playing Tiffany's song right now?
Yes, I am. Good night,
Crank
everybody.
it up a little bit. I can barely hear it. There you go.
For Katie the dog.
Because I would submit to you, my friend, that you are surrounded by allegory.